What's up, y'all? It's your main man, Killer B, the goddamn Witchfinder General. You got a witch. I'm burning their asses up. Got a great show for y'all today. And it's going to be on who is that king in Deuteronomy 28:36. All I want is an answer. I don't want no roundabout ass shit. I don't want nobody to come from out of left field and start talking about something that got nothing to do with the king. And also, I got a little bonus one I want to get through real quick about the difference between a cult and culture. We had some Hebrew Israelite nigga nut hit me up complaining about my videos. And he said, I bet you don't know the difference between cult and culture. That's going to be easy. That should only take about 2-3 minutes. So hopefully he comes on, which I doubt he will. There's another nigga nut acting crazy. He know this and he know that. He got the opportunity to come out here and speak with your boy Killer B, the Witchfinder General, right? Which I doubt they will. As all my past videos, we always put up the link for any of these nigga nut cult members that want to come in here and shoot their shot, right? I will not tolerate any yelling and screaming unless it's me. I will not tolerate anybody talking over anybody unless it's me. I'm the host of the show. If you do, I'll mute your ass. I'll let whoever's talking, including me, say what they were saying, and then you'll be allowed to respond, right? So there can be no ignorant stuff, no ignorance up out here unless it's from me. What up, Shamian? What's up, Shamian? And we're going to get right into this joint. So my intro, y'all know my new intro and stuff like that. I play my new intro. So, yeah, we're going to get right on into this joint here. As soon as I go, let's find it. All right, there we go. All right, I'll be right back now.
And inhumanity the man portrayed on the screen so vividly that you flinch. This man showed no mercy in the pursuit and interrogation of his victims. He was called the Witchfinder General.
Witchfinding ain't easy. Fuck your trick lock. Get this one. Y'all can get your heads lost, spin away like prison. Intelligence agencies trace today. Seeing what I did lately, amazing. They not seeing all the sheep graceful. Flaming pins of Josh, get rocked. Mountaintops go fly. Right enough, fight enough. Yet I'm so nice when I expose. Fuck y'all clothes, costume shop rolls. Catch info like a stroll. Feeling old, so grab a switch. I'ma extol my foes cause they snitch. Since they can't ruin me, I'ma ruin them. That chopped off head will still spin. Burning witches in they sin. You can't lie, we can't die. I know what y'all said. Just as flesh decay, but eternally, I don't see it that way. Pave the road clear is what you said, but your cult gonna leave people dead. You claim God, but God don't know you. Watch your desires overthrow you. Man fall down, man go boom. Mask wearing like doom. All caps like y'all yelling. That's a rap. Might as well be felons. Y'all words are levers. On YouTube, acting precious. This the nexus. Feel the sun from the solar plexus. Taste the breakfast. Finding all those devices that detect us. Yo, show respect, cuz.
What line of business might it be? God's business. Witch finding.
Witch finding.
Oh, that's nice.
Y'all be looking for that next buzz. Or some love. Watch the general pull plugs. Internet warriors caught up in dark corridors. Fiction like Mordor. Should've stayed on the floor. Y'all know no origins. Laugh at orphans, even though we got royal blood coursing. No more horsing. Real life's more important. Y'all speaking curses on yourself. Claiming God and no one else. Blast you off the shelf. Burn your whole library. See them do it. Look, y'all claim and learn. Reading from the Jewish books. Y'all some cookie crooks. Lips caught up with a hook. Spooky beats drive me wild. Get stabbed, my knife holding child. Old man, old style. Used to pull kelp out the Nile. And I did it with a smile. Fake roots, smell vile. Rock like Idris at the aisle. After a while, see Egyptians on trial. Yeah, you, the one claiming brew. Unglued and unruly, expose their actions fully. Call me a bully, but that's fine. This is how you get bullied straight from the mind. Burning them. We cats out there, don't even have faith in y'all. They can read all this, that they know all this, claiming they speak languages.
Be the first to see it. Be the first to talk about it. The Witchfinder General. Man's inhumanity to man portrayed on the screen so vividly that you flinch. This man showed no mercy in the pursuit and interrogation of his victims. He was called the Witchfinder General.
Go. Get this thing here popping. I got the link up in the chat. I sent them the messages. Had all that mouth. Now they got the opportunity to shut me down on my own show. Okay? You got the opportunity. Let me see here. Get a couple more shares out the way here. If y'all could do me a favor, please share this video. Favorite Facebook group, social media, all that good stuff, right? So, ready to tear their asses up. Today, I'm trying to tear their asses up quick. You know, I use the hands wrong. Had a great show last night. Not too many people have seen it. Thomas Jefferson and his writings and stuff on the subject of Negroes and slavery, bigotry. Also gonna, I'm gonna do the part 2. I don't know when, soon, very, very, very soon. I'm gonna do the part 2 for you guys on his thoughts on slavery. Yeah, so I hope y'all guys check that out. And get 2 more shares up in this joint. Wait for some more people to get up in here. We get the show on the road. Wait for the nigga nuts to show up, which they won't, which I already know. If you don't show up, I'm not going to answer this question on the difference between a cult and a culture, right? And all it is Hebrew Israelite cult rhetoric that they drop on people and stuff to dismiss the fact that dismiss the fact of what cults are, right? I had a friend that wanted me to do a video on that. So if he shows up, I'll do it. And he has to show up before I start the show. Once I start the show, he's hit. And he's going to wait for me to have to do the show, which I might do tonight. Who knows? Right? So, share. One more share, y'all. One more share. Just one more share. Okay. Last one. Which one? Here we go. All right, I'm ready. Okie. How many y'all up in here with me? All right, 2 people. Father Jim James. Killer, I caught your notification. That's right, up. That's what's up. For all you people that subscribe to me, make sure y'all hit that notification bell so y'all get the notification when I'm out. What's up, Nagy? Put the link up in that chat. We get this show here on the road. And we're going to show you this how, like, retarded these people are. Like, this is fucking crazy. It is crazy. All you Christians and stuff that hop on here and say, please excuse me. I like to get my point across. Because I'm speaking to the cult members, basically. I speak to the cult members, and that's the language that they understand. Oh, you already got the link. All right, right on. That's what they understand. They talk the same way. So, you know, I was one for over 2 decades. So I give them that same energy. What's up, Nagy? How you doing?
Not too much. I just didn't put the little pic of Nagy up. So, yeah, it's definitely me. I just forgot that Yeah, nothing much. This is going to be an interesting discussion because if you're a Black Hebrew Israelite, how are you going to explain why there's no king with you in captivity?
Hey, Arno. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. This is going to be a good one this whole time. That's right, Shavian. Shavian. I always choose the right words. So, yeah. So that's my question. Deuteronomy 28, right? Let me read Deuteronomy 28 for y'all. Let me read this for y'all. King James Version, right? The Lord shall smite thee with madness.
You there? Oh shoot, I'm all by myself. Anyway, so I'm just gonna hold it down until he gets back. But yeah, it's kind of crazy to think how these guys probably have no way of explaining any of that. They'll probably just sit there and you'll get a whole lot of words with no meaning. So it's just a lot of oh well, you gotta like consider the president as like the king or something like that. Something crazy. It's almost like asking who the Egyptian's pharaoh is. You just get a bunch of nonsense, words that don't mean words without, saying anything, that kind of thing. So that's the problem with cults in general. It doesn't matter what the beliefs are. It doesn't matter what the draw is for each one. You're going to get a whole bunch of, non-answers to any real questions. So you got to stay away from those cults. Just do your own studying. Don't waste your time. But yeah, I definitely do want to. It would be nice to hear someone actually try to defend that because I honestly don't know who could actually try and defend it.
All right, I'm back. I'm
Hey,
sorry.
welcome back.
Yep. that's a good one, Becky. I like that. All right, so let me read this thing again.
What, which? Oh, this the pick I have up. Yeah. I could explain it, but yeah, let's. I'll explain it at the end. It's funny. Okay. It's a real funny thing.
All right. So the scripture says, Deuteronomy 28:36, the Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. And there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. So the Lord is saying right here, He's gonna bring thee and thy king, which you set over yourself, right? So the Israelites had Saul set over them. They had that shit. Moses wasn't the king, but they set him over them. Well, God set them over them. But you got all these other kings of Israel that they set over there. I want to know who is that king? Who is that king? Y'all say y'all went into captivity after 70 AD. He took you out of that land, right? And you went into another land where you will serve other gods out of wood and stone. The Hebrew Israelite cult teaches that we came off when we got on these ships and went to another land, right? And we will be serving gods of wood and stone. So they say that they let 70 AD, They fled into Africa. They went all the way across the whole continent, got picked up by the white man on the west coast of Africa and put on those ships. And they went to Americas where they was forced to worship Christ, the cross, right? And Islam, meaning the stone. Because you got the stone Kaaba that the Muslims face and circle and all that stuff, right? Now, who was that king? Or in regular nigga language, who's that king? Who's that king?
I'm not even gonna jump for that, but you know what's so funny about that question is you'll probably get, like I said, a non-answer to that. Who the guy that was in charge? Of course, nobody was in charge if you go by their narrative. The slave ship narrative.
Yep.
So who was on the boat in charge, like telling all the other guys what to do?
Yep. So
the guys with the whips and the guys with the guns. That's who.
Yep. Exactly. Who was that?
Yeah. Not any. There wasn't a slave calling shots.
And not even before that, they ain't had no king.
Not when they were, waiting in or even before when they were in the fortresses or whatever, the little cells.
Right. Even before they left in 70 AD, who was their king then?
Oh, yep. It's Herod, right?
Christ's supposed to be the king, right? So did the Most High put Christ in slavery with these niggas? Was Christ serving other gods made out of wood and stone? Because it said he brought them and the king, not kings, the king, not kings, the king. One of my good friends, I don't know if he's mine or not, but from IUIC, I had a discussion with him the other day. He danced all around that subject. He said the word was ambiguous. The word king and the king, and it meant leader. I said, okay, who was the leader, nigga? Who was the leader? Who was the leader? Right.
If we go by the TV show version, I think it was that Kunte Kinte guy.
Or no, letting the cat out the bag. She letting the cat out the bag. See, normal people know.
Oh, normal shoot!
Got common sense. Got common sense, right? But these Hebrew Israelite nigga nuts have no common sense at all, right? So we're gonna get into some of these answers, right? We got a boy Malachi. He gave an answer. My second answer. Now I sent messages out to a zillion people and only got 2 answers so far, right? I'm gonna show y'all some videos today with people trying, and I give. It's okay. Now there was other people that tried to answer the question. None of them can answer it straight, but some go to the scriptures and stuff and show it, right? Now, Malachi was the first. You got D-Red, the blue collar scholar, whatever you want to call himself, right? He failed miserably. Malachi, great answer. Arno, say great answer. There was another brother in GMS had an answer, right? Now, I always give GMS props on being the realest Hebrew Israelite cult. All the other ones are just watered down wannabes, right? GMS, check out this slick shit. I should play it first. That's gonna be the first thing I play. Elder Tahar of GMS, Great Millstone Israelites, noticed there was one of his camps that was approached by Vocab Malone and some other people, and they asked who was that king in Deuteronomy 28:36, right? And what he did, and he said that the brothers didn't answer the question, so he got on them, right? So you gotta hold your right. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know me. Hebrew Israelites got an answer. We don't go on mute. I ain't never went on mute when I was a Hebrew Israelite. I always had an answer. Always. It might have been the wrong goddamn answer, but I had the answer. I had an answer. Right? So Tahar got on his own camp. Like, y'all better tell me who this king is. And there were very few attempts. Because you know, Tahar bring out the order that brothers got to make like 3 videos a day. That's the order. You know, military ranking, the order.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. I made a video talking about that and how crazy that was. I remember back then.
He hold his cult members down. He got a rule with a rod of iron, right? So
yeah, you know, he doesn't even have a channel on YouTube anymore. I couldn't find it.
You know why? Because it's getting hot, and he's gonna have to answer some questions.
Yeah, that's just. I wanted to find it because I wanted to do a critique of GMS, but yeah, that's unfortunate.
Well, it'll come up. All right, somebody just came up in here. Oh, Trey came up in here. Trey here.
What's going on, Killer B?
How you doing, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, brother. What's going on, man?
Not much. You see the title of my show and stuff. Who's the king? Who's the king? And Deuteronomy 28:36. So we're gonna get into this thing here. Okay, let me share my screen. And Elder Tahar. Actually, I don't have to play that. I don't shorten up the show. I don't want to drag out the show. Elder Tahar asked brothers to answer the question. But Elder Tahar did not answer the question himself. Right? So we're going to listen to a few of the answers from these brothers of GMS. And I got a whole bunch of different answers. Right? So let me share this thing here. Then we need to get on the D-Red, the Blue Collar Scholars. The Blue Collar Scholar. He need to get rid of that name. We need to get rid of that name. We can see the character of these people on. All right. So you see here, who's the king? That's Tahar's Apostle Live GMS 34th Street, right? We're gonna get this from the store. This is a good one.
Wait, what is the name of that channel? Is that his channel? Is that his YouTube channel?
Apostles Live GMS 34. That might be his new channel.
Okay, I'll go. All right, I'll look that up.
Okay. Mute your mic, Trey. All right. So let's get to this right here. Okay. I'm gonna show y'all something funny, right? And we saw other Hebrew Israelites like the cripple one. What's the cripple Israelite name? Hebrews in the Hood. Yeah, Hebrews in the Hood. We can show something here that I got our Hebrews in the Hood. Here we go.
Shalom, I want to give all honors and glories and praises due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, double honors and apostles and elders, great millstone, peace to Akim, that's doing this world in the four corners of earth, and shout out to Confusion and Face, that's also watching and listening and doing the work, and also a few of you women that are watching the videos and taking it seriously. Also, I want to talk about today, when I was at work, but somebody I knew was giving me, you know, a drink or whatever of something that he made, and so I was hearing him talking.
Well, look at this nigga fingernails.
Something that he made, and so I was hearing him talking.
Look at this nigga fingernails. Look at these nigga not finger well. All right, like I said, with Hebrews in the Hood.
I guess nail clippers are too expensive these days for these people.
Curses, you can't afford nail clippers.
Can't afford nail clippers.
And notice that pinky nail super long. That pinky nail super long. So, nigga, when the camera off, are you dressed up? performance of extracurricular activities that's forbidden in the Bible, you got flawed fingernails, nigga. Or 2, you sniffing up all the goddamn cocaine in the camp. That's what I want to know. But that's a whole nother video. Let's move on.
And he's talking to this woman.
Hebrews in the Hood had 3. It was either he ain't got one of them CNAs or nurses wiping his ass and taking care of him like they supposed to. 2, he doing some extracurricular activities and shit. That's forbidden in the Bible, so they say. Or he's sniffing up all the cocaine in the hood.
And she was saying something about, it was about Beyonce's father. And I guess he said something about, I think her father said something about that if it wasn't for her being from Yahweh, Willie Lynch.
Willie Lynch book. These niggas take this book like it's a real book. It's a fictional book that was written by some Afrocentrics.
Yeah, not at all. Well, I'm going to go to 20. I'm going to go to 36 first. Then I'm going to go to 37. Okay, the Lord shall bring thee in the.
Now we're gonna notice that this nigga can't read. I'm not saying I'm the most fluent reader out there and shit. Know what I'm saying? But this brother can't read.
A king which that shall see over thee under a nation which thy never that near.
Sounds like he needs hooked on phonics.
Exactly. He need a sweet pickle truck. He need a sweet pickle bus to come through, drop off some books. That nigga need that hooked on phonics. That nigga need the that shit they had with the that show you all the animals and shit to teach you how to read. He need all that shit.
This is sad. This is sad.
Yeah. He got his ass up on the camera with this bullshit too. So it comes to tell you how fluently they can explain all this stuff, but they're not comprehending what they're reading.
Said there serve other gods, wood and stone, and let me see here, in 37, and that shall become an offspring human, and Proverbs and a byword arming all nations with the Lord shall land thee. It's because these Edomites who brought us over here, and I'm gonna bring up Ishmael and them Hamites. They were trying to hide who we really are, and they know, all these other nations. They always knew that we're the biblical Israelites, the biblical Jews. So what they end up doing, they end up hiding our real nationality, calling us Negroes, calling us Latinos and Native Americans, to try to hide who we are, and also too, what's going to lead me to this book of Willie Lynch is I want to also, and throughout this whole book, that's a lot of prophecies that really match.
That's the end of that. These niggas never explain, not even at the end of this shit. Y'all can see. Can y'all see the thing? This video. Reading Rainbow, exactly, Jimmy James. Exactly. That's the drug dealer. Yep. Deuteronomy, this is the name of his channel is GMS Salt, I believe. Let me move the thing up so you guys can see it. It's not. Iowa. That's the name. All right? No answer. Now, let me get on to the next one. Hebrew Israelites take you all over left field, give you an answer, and never give you an answer. All right, here we go to the next one. They're trying to skip over all their little salutations and all that bullshit. Oh, that.
Okay, Shalom. Want to give honors and glory.
Yeah. That's the annoying thing. I used to say that. So the Shalom thing. It sounds really stupid now. makes me cringe a little.
And Shalom is a modern Hebrew.
Yeah, that's it. The original form, equally as cringy as Shalom.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Shalom. That's it.
So all praises unto Yahweh, Bahasham.
And these are all the niggas that want to get all the praise and shit from the elders. Like they want to act like they know everything. But we see from the look at this nigga right here. Moses, King David, and Masha. Right? Let's listen to who this nigga said became
Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Makakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the house of David, the elect, the 144,000 men that are toiling in his word in sincerity and truth, and women and children that are listening and learning in all sincerity of the house of David. All right, to you I say greetings. And call Allah Yahweh Hashem Shah, just saw it was 144 as well. But I want to take a stab at this. The apostles put out this video earlier. It says, who is the king in Deuteronomy 28 and 36? Okay. So I'm gonna see, I'm already getting ahead of myself. Salakia. Let me put this on Do Not Disturb real quick. All right.
Can you pause it real quick? Something else came up that I want to talk about just briefly.
Deuteronomy 28.
Okay,
You heard him say that word, Salakia. That's like a thing they teach you in the cult. They teach you like that's how you say sorry. That's like my bad.
Yep.
So like for some reason they all seem to say that even if they're not in the cult.
Yep, Salakia meaning like excuse me, my bad. They all use.
So it's really weird because you'll never hear them say excuse me. They'll never say any of the way you just said. They'll never use an English term. It's all a word or whatever. They'll always say Salakia, like
right, because they say they're supposed to be spiritual, but they don't even know the Hebrew. They only know.
Yeah, they couldn't speak either 100% English or 100% Hebrew. It becomes like a hybrid. So they'll combine the two.
If you ask them to put Salakia in a sentence, know what they will tell you?
Just some cult gibberish.
Salakia Abanaba.
Yeah, but that's a sentence to them, which is ridiculous. If you actually are a linguist, that will make you laugh yourself. You'll laugh so hard you'll probably pee yourself if you hear these guys try that crap.
They'll take words that they learned in saying the cult's Lord's Prayer. They'll take those words and make a gumbo. Like, know what I mean? So they'll select words from each, the little phrases they know, like kalawan, whatever. Salakia, Khan, Kwam Yashala.
Oh yeah. And the funny thing is, I just wanted to point that out for people who didn't know, because there are people who are watching who probably weren't involved in this.
Yep.
I did it too. I'm not even gonna pretend like this isn't something I did. You know, I did it enthusiastically too.
Yep. I'm gonna
Anyway,
read.
you can keep going. I just wanted to point that out.
And there's an Israelite woman that just commented on my video on the Christianity interrogated by Hebrew Israelites, religion exposed, right? Group on Facebook. She says the king in Deuteronomy 28:36 is every king that the Most High put over us because we Deuteronomy 28:15. I keep wondering, bitch, is you crazy? She said it's every king. Well, what that scripture said? King.
Yeah. Singular. If you go back into the original, like you guys love to do, I'm sure you could find that it says the plural version. You know, Malakayam. Just to show, I used to know that stuff too. I ain't stupid. Malakayam. That's what you'd call it.
That's right. That's right, nigga. All right, let's listen to this nigga. Listen to his answer.
In 36, it says, "The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone." All right, so we know this is talking about Babylon, our captivities, and other gods, Christianity, Islam, idolatry. All right, but who is this king? That word Malak there, okay? So first and foremost, the king that it's talking about is King David. All right. And let me get I know you saw the precept up there, but I'm going to get.
Y'all hear that shit? The king was King David.
Oh yeah, I heard him say that. First thing that came to my mind is this man needs to stop hitting the weed. So he went straight to David.
Oh shit! Y'all get it?
Malik David.
David, y'all get it? Yeah, you missed your calling, man. You too good a comedian.
Yeah, that's the joke. But this guy needs to stop hitting the weed.
Or as they say in the code, how do they say
the Kana Bashem.
How do they say David? It's not the
Wad. The Wad. That was it.
Yep.
You see, I learned quite a bit. It's just it was useless, or it's very useless.
Oh man, that's shit.
The weed.
30th chapter. And a lot of brothers know this chapter from Jeremiah 30:7 when they talk about the time of Jacob's trouble. But then if you read verses 8 and 9, it says, "For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him." All right, we're not going to serve Esau. We're not going to serve our oppressors. Okay, we're going to, the Lord is breaking the yoke from off of our neck. If you read rest of Deuteronomy, it says he will put a yoke upon thy neck until you have destroyed thee. Okay, it's verse 9. This is the point. It says, "But they shall serve the Lord Yahweh, their power, and David, their king, whom I will raise up unto them." All right, so that's your answer right there. But I'm going to go into, I have a few more precepts to help this point. But you know,
so is this what? And this says David needs deliverance. Somebody kind of got to come to deliver David. I just don't get how David went into slavery.
Yeah, because ultimately he didn't go into slavery. He died well before the slavery or captivity or whatever.
Said for it's
this doesn't even work. He would have been better off if he said Elijah or something. I don't know.
Because
then someone would have come along and said he's the reincarnation of somebody, or they would have done that, cult crap.
Yep. Now they believe this cult right here, GMS. They believe Masha's King David. As we look right here, look, Moses, King David, Masha. So they believe that old booger eating nigga that was leading the house of David and shit in the UPK fucking was King David. And they believe, and I think my shot might have even been a Benjamite, so-called Benjamin of Jamaica. So how the fuck you reincarnate in a different goddamn tribe? And just like Paul's supposed to be Elder Tahar from GMS. And Elder Tahar Levite. He a Haitian. So how the hell that nigga come back a Benjamite? I mean, how Paul was a Benjamite and come back a Levite? But that's a whole nother show. All right, so
it says, shall serve their power, and David their king, whom I shall raise up unto them. All right, so the Lord is, has King David that was serving him, okay, on this side in Babylon, okay, and I'm going to go into it a little bit more. I'm going to get 2 Samuel, all right, chapter 5, verse 12. All right, it says, and David perceived that the Lord had established him king over Israel, and that he had exalted his kingdom for his people's sake. All right. Hey, so David is established king over Israel. Of course, we know it's Yahweh and Yahweh Shai above all. Okay, but David is the king of Israel. Okay.
So who was the reincarnation of David that went on those slave ships? Because you were brought to another nation. Now hold up. What nation? They're gonna say Edom, right? Esau, the nation of Edom, the Romans, right? Because they consider the white people here Romans, they're the Edomites, right? So if they went, wait, let me go over here to the scripture. I'm gonna read this again. It's common sense. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee. Wait, which thou shalt set over thee. I'm not the best at grammar and shit like that. So that's saying that these people are going to set a king over them. They're going to set a physical king, not a king that's been over them, that the Lord set up, right? That they shall set over thee unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers. So I didn't know, and my fathers didn't know this nation. So wasn't Jacob Esau's brother? So their father Jacob knew Esau.
Yeah. The two were supposedly brothers in the story. What's funny is the Hebrew Israelites ignore that. They completely make it into like a good guy and bad guy.
Yep. But
and of course, when I was in all that, I thought I was Esau. I thought I was, Edom.
And they said it was two nations, right? Okay, I'll give them that. Now, if it was two nations in the where I was going here, if it was two nations and if Esau was the goddamn spawn of fucking Satan, they still knew those niggas all the way through time. Wasn't it Esau? Wasn't the Edomites laughed at them going into captivity? When in the Babylonian captivity, they was laughing at them. They knew Esau then.
Yeah, and then before that, they didn't let them come through their land, which was the cause for all this beef. They didn't let them go through their territory.
Yep. They knew Esau at the time of the Maccabees. They knew Esau after Christ. So who's this nation? They didn't know that they was brought to. They ain't know these niggas. That they was brought on the damn shits. Said, neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there these shall serve other gods, wood and stone. Hold on one second. Hold it down, nigga. I gotta take this call. I hate that.
All right, so I'll just hold it from here. Yeah, once upon a time, I used to actually think that I was one of those Edomites because I was watching Hebrew Israelite videos, and it really got to me to the point where I was like, "Oh shoot, I might be an Edomite." So by the time I joined that one group, Torah Knights, I really believed that. So it's like that's one of the things I definitely had to get away from, because you really soon learn, if you do reading about this, that the whole being an Edomite thing isn't really a good thing. It's somewhat presented as a good thing and a bad thing at times, but for the most part, it's not a good thing, because the Most High is going to wipe out the memory of Edom, according to the book of Malachi, of course, which Hebrew Israelites love that book because it says that. And, so that's one of the things I had to get rid of, the idea that I'm an Edomite. I don't believe that anymore, but let's just say it feels a whole lot better not having that monkey on my back. Which, if you know anything, you know that us white people are supposed to have monkey DNA or something, but I'm just glad not to have that particular monkey on my back. Anyway.
That's a good one, Neggy. The monkey DNA thing, that RH negative blood type. I'm gonna do a video on that. I'm gonna kill that too. I'm gonna.
Yeah, of course. It's an interesting thing, and I don't believe it. I'm just throwing it out there, but
yep.
I don't got that monkey on my back anymore. Or in my blood. But yeah, I really did believe that whole Edomite thing.
Yep.
Another sad thing, that indoctrination, especially watching videos of Hebrew Israelites, that'll get you brainwashed.
Yeah, straight brainwashed. Yep, absolutely right.
And they'll be like, "Oh yeah, of course you're brainwashed. You're getting all the dirt out of your brain." No, I'm talking about brainwashing. Not the good kind. There is no good kind, really.
All right, I got it.
Like, we all need a little bit of brainwashing.
We all need a little bit of brainwashing. Yep.
Right. You hear things like that. You hear things like that when you're in a cult.
Yep, absolutely. All right, now we get to this. We get the Hebrew Israelites out the way, then we gonna get the so-called scholars, the black scholars. We get
yeah. We're going after the black intelligentsia. First ones to the wall too. They're gonna be like, Communist revolution. Here we go. To the wall.
Black intelligentsia.
That's the funniest thing. The sad thing is they're serious.
But when it comes time to proving your heritage, you have to be able to tell people. You have to be able.
Yeah, you're right. They dead serious too. The black intelligentsia.
I'm not even trying to be funny or racist either. I'm just saying that sounds weird.
Yep. The motherfuckers starting universities. The black intelligentsia university is some bullshit.
The first thing that came to my mind when I heard that was, you know how when, the image of prison people have in their mind of having a ball and chain around your ankle, like a big black ball. That's what I imagine these guys having as they're, trying to do this university thing. They're stuck. They're dragged down by something. They're like, oh, I can't get anywhere.
Yep. I'm going to the black intelligentsia. Let's listen to this next nigga.
Yeah, this is it.
Where they can understand why you're a Jew, why you're an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. This is something that all of us got to know. So it's more than just listening to classes or lessons. It comes down to your studying and your labor. It's very important. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36.
At least he read it. At least he reading Deuteronomy 28, 36. Because if you watch, especially IUIC videos, they will never say Deuteronomy 28, 36. And they'll title the video Hebrew Israelite Deuteronomy 28 explain fully or clearly. And they never hit that scripture.
Because this is part of the curses, but a lot of brothers don't know how to break this down. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36, it reads, "The Most High shall bring you and thy king
which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. And there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. So the brother asked him, who is your king that went into captivity? And the other brother couldn't say anything. Can I ask you, brothers and sisters, right now, who do you think this king is? Any of you know? Any of you will take a guess at who this king is?
Nigga, do you know?
What's that, sis? I can barely hear you. No, Esau wasn't, he was never our king.
Look, that just showing you right there
Who's our king?
how ignorant the followers are.
King David? King David never went into captivity.
Uh-oh. He's Israelite on Israelite violence. Israelite on Israelite crime. This nigga said David ain't never ruled. Let's pick it up.
Who's our king? King David? King David never went into captivity. Anybody else want to take a stab at it? Anybody else want to take a stab at it?
First, I thought that was Booger Bear.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you, the king. Anybody want to say?
Lasagna.
Well, bro, who you know, bro? King David.
I was like, oh shoot.
Where you know, bro? No, where you know, bro?
What was it? Bathbone Met?
That shit was funny, yo. That shit was funny as shit. He said that shit. Bathbone Met. Curses of death. Let me keep going.
Oh yeah.
That's right. It was Yahweh. It says the Most High.
You hear that, nigga? Y'all just heard that, nigga? He said it was Yahweh Shai, motherfucker. Yahweh.
He's retarded. He's just as dumb as Booger Bear. He's dumb as Zavanya.
Yo, that nigga said Yahweh Shai. So Yahweh Shai got on them shits, nigga. So Yahweh Shai came again. He came back again and was chilling with the Israelites and shit after he showed himself to the apostles and stuff. When he left, he came back again. So the second coming already happened. And not only the second coming happened, he didn't do what he said he was going to do. He went into slavery. So Yahushua came back to go into captivity. These niggas, man.
Shall bring thee and thy king which thou shalt set over thee. Okay, what captivity are we in? Who's running this captivity? Esau. There you go. So, who's the first one to go into captivity as our king under Edomite captivity? It was Yahushua. Wasn't he not placed in captivity? Wasn't he not questioned and interrogated? Wasn't he not placed on the tree? Didn't he not say, when I return, I'm going to pierce those that pierced me? Didn't he not?
So how he get out of the damn shit, nigga? Yo, so Jesus was worshiping gods of wood and stone too. So Jesus came back and said, "Man, shit, I'm just gonna follow this Jesus here on this cross, because I ain't the real one. This thing here on the cross is the real one." Yo, this is fucking crazy. Yo, it's insane. This is insane.
Yeah, you know what's so crazy about all this? The whole thing that these guys believe in is that if you knock it over, they just flip out on you. They won't listen. They won't listen to you when you show them how dumb it is.
Yep.
Any aspect of it. You could tell them the language is not even real, and they'll flip out on you. Like, really. When I heard that, I flipped a little, but I didn't flip out like some of these guys would.
Yep. Oh,
I was just grossed out. That was it.
I got a reply from these nigga nuts and shit. All right, now they copping a plea now. Right? Now he's talking about all this extra shit instead of the subject. For what? I told him to come up on here. Right? He said, for what? You not that important to me. But you on here sending me message, comment after comment after comment on here. Besides, it's you that's on a rant, not me. I don't even know who the hell you are. But you be sitting here talking to me. Your beef was not with me. Your invite should be to the men that may make that video. Okay.
Wait, who are you talking about? Who is this?
The bar Ben Yahweh.
Oh, yo, it's one of those Ban Yahweh does. Okay. Wait, is he on Twitter or is he on YouTube?
Facebook.
Facebook Israelites, the worst of the worst. But yeah, that's yeah. So we got a Ban Yahweh. What a piece of work. Most of these guys don't even know Yashar means straight or direct, not upright. These guys are clowns. Who cares? Just ignore them. Tell them, if you aren't going to come on and try to defend that stuff, what good are you? Paul says to defend the faith. What's up with this coward?
Yep. That's what I just told him. That's what. Okay, here the next nigga nut just messaged me. Let's see what he says. I think that's the one wanted to ask about. You know the difference between cult and culture? I'm like, nigga, don't do that old school ass 1970 fucking Hebrew Israelite rhetoric bullshit, tricknology shit. All right. I think that nigga retracted his motherfucking answer. That nigga retracted his motherfucking reply. Hold on. He said, I'm at work right now. But you was talking like you had that smoke. And now you're at work. Okay. I can ask him to give me the time. I'll await your reply, nigga. I'll await your reply. Okay, give me time. And date. And week. And call. I await your reply. I bet you everything I won't get one. Right? So them niggas is out the way. I'm still gonna do the video on that cult and culture shit. So know what they do with the cult and culture shit real quick? They want to take the word culture, the word cult, and there's like a root, through the etymology. They'll use etymology to define a word that's defined different today. So they say cult means culture. So being in a cult isn't a bad thing. That's their logic. Says being in a cult is not a bad thing because the etymology of cult means culture. Nigga, a word that they use in 1600s don't have the same meaning it means in 2000. So that don't mean that you can take that word and use the 1600 version of the word and that what it means in a sentence for the 2000s. These people, it's retarded. Straight retarded. Unbelievable.
Say that? Who cursed them? It's the Edomites. It was the Roman kingdom. The Edomite Roman kingdom. The first kingdom of Esau, or second kingdom of Esau. Okay?
But I thought they didn't know them niggas. He talking about the first kingdom of Esau, the second kingdom of Esau. All of this before they got on them ships. So I thought they didn't know him. Christ knew him. The Romans put him up on the cross. Yo, what? People crazy, yo. Crazy, straight craziness. Now, there's a certain part in here, in this video, I'm going to get to. Skip up. This is it right here.
Teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you. And lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. See that? So who is with us? Our King. He says, I am with you to the ends of the world. So Matthew 18:20.
He waits it, but he started worshiping Christ. The white Jesus. Jesus is white, y'all. Let me stop playing. Jesus ain't black.
Matthew 18:20. And it reads, for where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them.
Now he pulled that out of his ass. So two together, and so Christ, Christ said he with y'all. With 2 together, he gonna be in the midst of y'all. So, but we talking about physical. Was Christ on that ship? Wait a minute. That, if I'm not mistaken, isn't that scripture? Wait, hold on a second. Yo, hold it down for me, nigga. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Somebody was at my door. All right. Y'all still with me? Maybe must be here. Maybe I'm mute. Okay. Let's see, James. BK Apologist, what up, bro? You want to hop on this? I can use your help. I can definitely use your help on this. Let me get this link here. Father Jimmy James making chat. Now, the Black Hebrew Israelite statutes and codes go against social norms, and yes, Becca Society not allowing preteen marriages with your 12, 11, and 10-year-old little girls. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Jimmy James, your ass is like Basil. I know you remember Basil and shit. Basil be all over the place. Shit that ain't got shit to do with the subject of the video. All right, let me get your ass up off the screen. You wild. All right. All right, that guy did. There's something I want to do.
Is he still with us? Yes, he's with us. That's why he says to gather in 1 Corinthians chapter 11. He wants us to gather together in his name and follow him towards the Most High. So 1 Corinthians chapter 12. To prove that our king was, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body? We all are Hamashiach. All of us. When we come together in the same mind, keeping the commandments. Okay? Not crazy doctrines, but keep the great city. Revelation 11:8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt. That's where we are today.
I hear that shit. Now, get this thing here. Sodom and Egypt. Where is Sodom and Egypt? Right? who spiritually in Revelations 11, BK apologist, Arno, come on in here. I didn't put the link in the chat. I'll screw around and say some old Hebrew Israelite quote explanations. I don't know. Jimmy James just be talking, I guess. Jimmy James probably is basic. I wouldn't doubt that. It's good. Jimmy James might be basic. Because I was paying attention to you the other day with the replies. You give it the same replies. What was, Arnold, where is this place spiritually called Sodom and Egypt? All right, let me back it up for a second. Revelation 11 and 8.
Revelation 11 and 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt. That's where we are today. Where also our Lord, Mashiach, was crucified. Now, how was he crucified here? Because he was taken into captivity. Our king went into captivity.
All right. So the Yahushua went into captivity.
How was he crucified? By us being hung on trees, by us being sacrificed to idols here in the Americas and abroad. So Yahushua is here with us. Let's go back to 1 Corinthians chapter 3. We're all in this together, man. When you come into this truth, we're in this like we're going to. And duty calls, man. And go back to I put the house shall lie. Revelation chapter 11 and 8. Revelation 11 and 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt. That's where we are today. We're also.
So they say that America is Sodom and Egypt. I got a little thing out here. That's enough of that nigga. We had enough of that nigga. Right. Next one up in here. I can't wait to get the B-Red Blue Collar Scholarship. And Malachi, if you watching, hop on here, because I'm gonna have to scroll through all that stuff in the chat to find your reply. It's all good. That's what I was doing. You know what? I didn't get the okay, BK. I'll do you the questions got it. It's showing food, Dave. What's up, BK? What's happening?
Peace. What's going on? Can you hear me?
Yep. Uh-huh.
All right. So let's start with the Deuteronomy thing, right? So, when we're reading any text of the Bible, one of the first things we have to ask ourselves, what genre of literature is being used in this particular book, right? So Deuteronomy, when you look at it, it is a contract. And it's a very specific type of contract. It is a Caesarean vassal treaty. Right? It was something that was very well known during the time. We have many treaties from the Hittite Empire that are written in this manner. So it'll start with a preamble, how we got here, what are the stipulations, blessings and cursings of the gods overseeing the contract. So when you look at Deuteronomy, it's written in the same format. It's a contract. So when you are in breach of contract, you incur penalties, right? So this is not prophecy, right? There's no prophecies in contracts. This is a legal document. So when you are breaching the contract, Deuteronomy, the law is saying, well, this is what's going to happen to you, like actually going to happen to you.
Absolutely.
So this, so it's like when they say your king is going to be taken, they're talking about an actual physical king It's going to be taken from the land of Israel. It's talking about Israel because this contract is tethered to the land of Israel. That's why when Israel rebelled and broke the contract, what happened? They got taken from the land because it was connected. This contract is tethered to the land. You can live in this land as long as you are compliant with the contract. The minute you breach contract, you can no longer live in this land. And we see that happen a few times in scripture. So he's just it's horrible. It's just really horrible.
Both
Now,
saying that he will get a desolate land until you return. I'm just paraphrasing it.
Well, I mean, you'll be taken to somewhere else. Well, it says literally, it tells you you'll be back in Egypt. And we actually see that happen in history, you know, during the Bar Kokhba Wars and all that. They are literally put on ships and taken to Egypt. And then people will say, well, it's such a short distance. Why are they taking them in boats? Because that's just the easiest way to do it.
Yep.
It's just easy. To this day, most of our shipping is done on ships. We don't even use planes because it's still cheaper to this day.
To this day.
So, but then with Revelation, right? Again, what genre of literature are we talking about? Revelation is a hybrid of genres. But it's mostly apocalyptic, right? And it's a vision. Okay, it is a vision that John is having on the island of Patmos. So it's heavy on symbolism. It's not the things that he's saying aren't actually happening. These are symbols that convey certain messages to those churches that existed at the time of that letter. So this idea that, you know, they were referencing America during the 2nd century, there is no America here. So he's just saying it without showing you any kind of methodology where he can make this claim. He's just saying it. But again, you got to remember, it's a vision that Jesus is giving to John to give to a specific group of churches that would understand the symbolism.
Right.
You know what I mean? So this is a historical document. So if you don't understand the context from them, right? It's not, you can't smuggle in your 21st century ideas into an ancient text. You have to understand the text from the original author and the original audience. Because the Bible's written for us, but not to us. We're almost like eavesdropping in a weird way. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that's my...
From these notes, I'm looking at the commentary on Bible Hub for that verse. And it says what I was going to put up originally, too. I already got it up. It says, why is that great city figuratively called Sodom and Egypt, right?
Uh-huh.
Because after the beast has killed the 2 prophets, we read in Revelation 11 and 8, which figuratively Egypt and Sodom, but why is the great city called? Revelation contains hundreds of references and allusions to the Hebrew scriptures. The exact count varies from the commentary next. He quotes paraphrases. Okay, let me go down. Where the Lord was crucified. Some commenters equate the great city of Revelation 11 with the great city Babylon from Revelation 17. Many of those same commentators identify Babylon as a cipher for Rome. Hence, they read the great city of Revelation 11 as Rome. However, the author's description of this great city as the place where the Lord was crucified appears to be a conscious attempt to avoid any such confusion with the latter great city Babylon. And a extant Christian literature from the 1st century that has anything to say on the issue associates Jesus' crucifixion with Jerusalem, not Rome. Is the president for Jerusalem being compared to Sodom and Egypt? Comparison of Sodom. Comparison of Israel, Judah, or Jerusalem to that of Sodom and Gomorrah are frequent and direct in the Hebrew scriptures. Deuteronomy 29, 23, Isaiah. All right, y'all see all that stuff.
Right. Well, the challenge, right, is again, how would those, because remember, the whole, this book of Revelation was given to these 7 churches. So they are the ones who can understand the symbolism. So the challenge is we need to know what they knew in order to decipher these symbols.
Right.
We can't just make stuff up. Like you hear people talk about, it's the Catholic Church. Well, would they have thought of the Catholic Church in the first mid-century or second century when the Catholic Church doesn't show up until like 300 years later? Probably not. It's like, how would they have concluded what these symbols mean? Like, that's how we have to approach the text. How did they see it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's one way of getting to the bottom of all that stuff. Yeah, even with words, like they'll use. Somebody showed me an old book that was describing King James, and it says he was black, right? But
hey, Killer, you mind if I get off? I'm just gonna get off right now. I'll be on later on my channel or whatever. But yeah, I'll talk to you whenever. See you around, man. Yeah, take care.
Yeah, I heard you mention this earlier about the etymological fallacies, of how words, the connotations of words change throughout time.
Right.
And the word nice, right? The word nice once meant idiot, stupid.
Yeah.
That's not what the word nice means now. You know what I mean? So, but again, right? So they also here, right? Here's an example of they're spiritualizing a actual location in Revelation, right? Spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah, right? For some reason, they look at that and they think that gives them license to spiritualize every location that's mentioned in the Bible. And that's called the fallacy of composition, right? Just because it's correct on this part doesn't mean that this is how it is throughout the composition.
Right.
Right. So.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. And out of those 20-something years that I was in the cult, I never realized that word in that scripture. I've never seen it. I never seen it. Like, I read it, but my eyes and my brain didn't catch it.
Well, that's because of your presuppositions. Unfortunately, your presuppositions dictates what you can and cannot see in the text.
Right.
So,
and to look at these people teaching on the streets, they skip over it. Or one thing, like when we read, right, on the person that's reading, and then you got the guy that's explaining it.
Right.
And sometimes, and I've done this myself, and I've caught in my head, like consciously in my head, I'm like, why I can't explain this scripture right here?
Wow.
But I'm not telling the people I'm teaching. I'm not telling the people I'm confused myself.
Wow.
And I don't want to read it or basically make a point on it or something for them to ask me a question. I ain't gonna be able to answer it. And it might contradict the whole lesson of what I'm trying to tell the people. Like, right? And I'll go afterwards, I'll go search it out, try to get an answer. I'll ask one of my heads and stuff, my elders, whatever, the answer, and they're gonna give me some roundabout thing and never answer the question. Now, if I come and ask it again, my brother already gave you the answer. You got a spirit on you. And that just be the end of it. Like, you know what I mean? And you see them read, and you ever notice them say, okay, that's it on that.
Yes.
Yeah. That. When they say that's it on that, read what's below there.
Yeah.
Read what's below there. Or they explain how they explain Deuteronomy 28 so beautiful. So beautiful. Well, how they tell you, and nobody will buy you, and your store, like people gonna take all your food, all the things you work for, people gonna take it, and they can explain it all beautiful. But when they get to that scripture and where it says where you and your king read it, they're gonna read it, but they're not gonna explain that part. They're gonna explain the bottom part.
But what's even more interesting, right? Before there's chapter 28, there's chapter 27. And when you look at chapter 27, you see the actual ritual in which Israel actually takes an oath to take on the curses. So they have it written, like the Levites got to stand on one side of the mountain, the rest of Israel got to stand on the other side. Then the Levites say, if you don't do this, you will incur this curse. And the people say amen. And if blah, 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 and it goes all the way down the line. So they verbally agree to the contract. So my question is always, did you take the oath? Because if you don't take the oath, then how do you incur the curses?
Yep.
You know, because it's a contract.
Yep. And you never hear them. To this day, I ain't heard no Hebrew Israelite read the beginning of Deuteronomy 28.
Right. Because it's more than just one curse, right? They basically focus on the boats going back to Egypt, but there's more than that happening to you, right? So,
yep. And they'll say, "Oh, the curses." Okay, so if we follow the laws, so these curses shouldn't be upon us,
right?
I'm sitting up in the Israelite school, and we talking. Brothers are talking about stuff going on in their life and stuff. He said, "Well, you know, brother, we in captivity. That's the curses, bro. That's the curses." But we supposed to be the men of the Lord. You telling us that we be the Most High's elect,
right?
So how we the Most High elect, and we getting the curses because we not following them?
Because you know what would be even more like if you wanted more people to be Hebrews, you should actually focus more on the blessings. It's like, I know I'm a Hebrew because my life is great because I follow the law, statutes, commandments, because it's cursings and blessings, right? So that would actually be more attractive to people. It's like, hey guys, follow the law, statutes, commandments, because look at me, I got this nice house, I got this great family, and you know, it's the blessings of Deuteronomy.
And then he said he getting money, he got all this stuff and stuff because he's following the Lord.
Right. That to me, that'd be more powerful, more compelling than to say, you know, your life sucks, so you're Israel. Congratulations. I mean, that's not. You know what I mean? Because that's the base. That's the foundation of their theological framework. Your life sucks. It starts there.
Yeah, that's where it starts. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. That's where it starts.
Yeah. So
it's sad. It really is. It really is.
Which camp was you? You was ISUBK?
I was learning from the House of David, which was Tahar's camp before they turned in Great Millstone. From there, I went to one of the brothers that left that school. He started a school called Shiloh Research Study Group out here in Connecticut. And from there, and he was grooming us to be part of the school in New York when they were just making Tazadaki the Comforter. This is right in that breaking point where they changed the name and they changed their whole salutes. Like we go to brothers, we can go to any Israelite camp and say Abba Al Bashem Yahushai Brakatah. Like, right? Everybody knew the salute. Now, I used to go to New York, and one day I saw the brothers and stuff outside, and I saluted them. And usually they be happy to see you. Like, oh, that's another brother here, Israelite. Like, you know what I'm saying? They looked at me like I was a damn fool. They didn't salute me back or nothing. Because they changed their whole doctrine. They done made Taki the Comforter. But this school I was in, they were grooming us. I found out later after like realizing everything, they was like, yeah, we're gonna have a meeting to the head school in New York and stuff. And they gave us a website called the Holy Conception Unit.org or something like that. That site might actually still be up. Because I looked for it a couple of years ago and it's still up. They're grooming us to accept the Comforter. One of my buddies that actually taught me, he dismantled that school within like a few minutes one night, and nobody else went to the school ever again. Like totally dismantled the whole school because they were doing a lot of private things. Like they're asking us a lot of private information. If I'm not, it started off from the prelude and the Apocrypha for I forgot for what book. I gotta find it and read it. But it was a prelude, but they was using that to justify asking all of our business, like our address. If I'm not mistaken, they even wanted our social security number.
Wow.
Yeah, and this brother was like, "Where's this in the scriptures?" They showed him the prelude in the script. He said, "That ain't the scriptures. That's some stuff just written before." And this guy, he was like a wild one. Like he would be the dude that you would see on the news doing something to somebody.
Wow.
Like Israelite, and he actually pulled a gun on Tahar and Gabar in the school.
Oh wow.
Back because he was locked up, and they supposed to have been supporting him, right, sending the money and stuff, and they just ignored him while he was locked up. So when he came out, he hopped on the school. He had a little scooter. He rode the scooter like directly right inside the school. He like rode the scooter, pulled up in front, and said, "Y'all gonna let me read this scripture?" Talking about there's heresies and like, you know what I'm saying, amongst you, reading that scripture. And they said, "The Lord's gonna deal with you." He pulled out this gun. He said, "I'm gonna deal with you if you don't let me read the scripture."
Wow.
They was on mute. He read his scripture, cranked his scooter up, and rode out the school's doors on the scooter.
Wow. So what was your turning point when you finally said, "Okay, this is it"? What was that moment like?
It was the things that I was trying to do for the nation, and all these times I'm trying to do the most. Like, right? I'm a servant. I'm a servant, and whatever I need to do to get these people to believe this stuff, all that stuff, right? And I kept seeing it, and I started to see a lot of people push back at the things I was trying to do. And things according to the scripture, these are things that we need. For example, one of the main things, I think when I joined IUIC, I was an independent sales rep and stuff for a bunch of skateboarding brands. I was doing my own importing of goods and stuff from China and all this. And I was very business oriented and stuff. And they talked about building the nation and all this stuff. Brothers that was in the music industry donated like 10 grand with their equipment. Just dropped it off at the schools. Me, I'm a screen printer. I printed most of those t-shirts in the beginning, like those IUI t-shirts.
Yeah.
Doing all the printing. And they was trying to get me to do it for free. I was like, the scriptures say a man should get paid for his labor. Am I right? And doesn't it say, woe on him that builds his house off another man's labor?
Yep.
You know what I mean? And they were stuck on stupid, like when I said that. And they paid me. I didn't charge them a lot. I didn't charge them what I would charge other people.
Right.
I was going there on my own. I was putting my own duties and stuff in my life to the side for the school. I was taking the train 3-4 times a week to print t-shirts. I get there, nobody's there to open up the school, and now it's time to pay me. They're talking about they don't got the money, but the shirts are going out the door like I don't know what. And it was a lot of stuff. I'm like, these people aren't sincere. They're talking about the law. And then, but I'm like, we in the basement of an apartment building, y'all have a kitchen in here with no fire extinguisher. I said, what if this, because I was cleaning up and I grabbed a sterno can that was still lit. You know that sterno can is a blue flame. And like you can't see it. So I grabbed that thing and burned the hell out of my hand, right? So I'm like, yo, and I threw it in the trash. Now, what if I did that thing and didn't see it, and that thing would have caught on fire and caught the building on fire? Right. Now the door got piles and piles and piles of bags of clothes in front of the fire exit.
Wow.
But you telling us we have to follow the laws of the Most High and the laws of the land. And the things I would suggest, I got an attitude about it. Because now I'm putting the elders in check. That military cadence that they did for IUIC, I'm the one came up with that.
Wow.
I'm the one that suggested they did do that. And the brother Shem, he's the one that did the classes and stuff. There's some people I talked to, they remember those videos with military cadence and all that stuff. But things, and they got rid of me because they didn't get rid of me. I quit, but they were maneuvering to like shut me down from the things that I'm trying to do, like the fringes. Y'all charging these brothers a lot of money for these fringes, and they said, "Well, you know, we paying." I said, "Well, I could get these things made and imported from China, so we can lower the price." Right? They didn't like that. Right? So then I quit. I was basically through. I'm looking into stuff, Egyptology and all that crazy stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And Judah Nazareth pops up with this temple man teaching thing. Then I'm like, whoa, I ain't never seen nothing this before. I didn't know anything about Kabbalah, any of that, right? So I wanted to learn what he was trying to teach.
Right.
Fast forward, I'm building websites and stuff for it. He's not actually going on this website. I mean, like, I was building like $4,000 websites.
Wow.
And with all these things, so brothers that don't got a job, and brothers that have their own businesses, it was like a what do you call it? Like a I forgot what the word you use, but basically, like, you can share links and stuff. Sales that generate from those links that you share, you can get a commission off of it. I have our own YouTube, so brothers was getting videos taken down. So I got to own my own platform on the site that you can upload your videos, and no one can come there and take them down. All this stuff, Nick can tell you, and I had all this stuff, our own Facebook, our own social media, and he would downplay it. Like, all the brothers was ready, our own classroom in there, so you could give tests and all this stuff. And the reason he wasn't supporting it, because it would put him on Front Street to actually teach. Like, those little, he was spoon feeding us like little things, but not explaining anything. So we had like, he couldn't answer it. So I took a break. I was from the internet for about a good 4 or 6 months. I came back and I noticed Torah Nights was about to self-destruct. So I hopped in there.
How many people were there when you was a part of Torah Nights?
Never more than 7. There's never more than 7 at a time.
Okay.
I was the first member.
Oh wow. Okay.
First member when with Kornana. Then Josh came in. Then Negi came in. Then it was like Trey Tell and a couple other brothers like came in. And it was all cool because we were just beating up, or what we thought we was doing, beating up on Christians, beating up on the other. This is an Old Testament Israelite, so we not believing in Christ. So like, we're up on them, and so we think we winning, like, right? And cause to find out, when I came back, I started seeing the things that Judah was doing. I'm like, you're trying to talk to a married woman and trying to get her to join this group and marry you, and she married to somebody? I'm like, yo, this out. Like, Chris Harris was on him. I got Chris Harris out of the way and stuff with the whole old school Torah Nights tactics and stuff. And I started to see the things he was doing. And now I'm like, why are you doing this? Because you're getting the same result. And none of this stuff is helping us and making us look stupid. And that we're not following this book, right? He starts to see where my mind is going, like straying away from him.
Right.
He's taking little shots here and there. I noticed the shots. I didn't say nothing, right? I'm still doing me. And the group and stuff. Keeps going. Now I'm helping him. Oh yeah, I'm finishing up another site. Now I done did 3 sites for the group.
Wow.
Got pissed. I took the sites down and stuff, right? So I'm on my last one. And I'm asking them for the information. I'm like, yo, what's the stuff that I'm gonna put on here? We need bios, about page, all this stuff. Like, he tell me I don't know about computers. This has nothing to do with computers. I'm asking you, what am I gonna put on here? Right? Never got it. Oh, I'm gonna get it for you. I'm gonna give it. Months go by. So finally one day, and all the crazy stuff going on, I said, you know what? I said, I'm working myself to death for nothing. Hours and hours of work. Some days I was staying up 3 days in a row working on the site, getting it done. And I called and told him, I said, you know what? I'm not doing anything else for Torah Nights. I'm just going to be a fly on the wall. He didn't like that because just like a narcissist cult leader, you know, he can't afford to lose somebody because that one little person is going to make other people know. So, you know, he took some more shots and stuff. Then, like, he did one where he actually let people know who he was talking about. So, you know, I still sat back in the cut. People like, oh, when are you gonna respond? Because I was the enforcer of the cult. Like, when somebody get out of line with the cult, I was the dude that put everybody in check. Like I was a hitman, basically. And now I said, okay, so this is how we're gonna do this. So I started making videos on him and exposing what he's actually teaching. A bunch of cult knowledge, the stuff that he told us to avoid, like Kabbalah. This isn't Kabbalah and all this stuff. This is exactly what you're trying to teach, and you don't even know it. Like you're teaching like an unlearned version of it, feeding it to us and just putting these little things and stuff in it. So I was just like, this is ridiculous. And I started to look back on the Hebrew Israelites from the beginning. And I said, these people wasn't no good from the start. So when I first got in there, what they do, they take you away from your family.
Right.
They make you deny all the things, your gifts and stuff in life. And then as I was moving up, going to other groups, I went to UPK for like probably about 5 months, maybe. I was going to school in New York City. I was going to recording school. Okay. And I was frequenting classes at night. And one night, I was up in there, and they were asking for money. And people gave up their money. Now, he said, and I believe it was Johanna in there at that time, General Johanna. He said, we don't got enough money. Y'all going to have to come up out your pockets and start reading the scriptures. Have you robbed
Malachi, right.
He passed the basket around again. And now he got dudes at the door, these big security guard dudes at the door, so nobody can leave. And he passed that around like 4 times. And I'm like, I'm not no fool. I was like, he not getting my money. And that was the last time I went there. I went to, there was a group called the 12 Tribes that Nathaniel was running before I see. There. That's when I was going to recording school also. And I go inside. Now they ask questions and stuff like that. If you don't know it, you got brothers in there laughing. I had dreads then. So they telling me I'm wicked because I got dreads, because dreads is African culture, and all this. Like, yo, this has nothing to do with the like scriptures, like, you know what I mean? This is bugged out. I leave them. I go to who was at that? IUIC. I get an IUIC. They teach you something totally different from what Nate learned in the cult and what I learned in the cult. They got their own little freestyle thing going on. And I noticed that they don't answer questions because they don't know anything. Nate would say, only ask questions for the lesson at the end of the show. At the end of the class, the only questions you can have has to do with the class. Know why? Because they got that lesson. They only want to answer, because you might say something they don't know the answer to.
Right.
And Nate would like, what did we do? It was total control of the members. New people would come in there, ask questions. Now, questions they can't answer. I see brothers surround the people like a pack of wolves, like literally like a pack of wolves. And basically in their face, like about the fight, letting the people know that we'll beat you half to death in here. And escort them and literally throw them out the door. There was brothers in there that were in need. They had a brother that was homeless, like literally pushing around a shopping cart homeless.
Wow.
Yeah, seizures and all types of stuff. They wasn't helping that brother. The brother that was bringing me to class.
Were you ever part of GOCC?
No, never part of GOCC.
That's like the only camp left that you wasn't a part of.
And I got a whiff of them on the internet, and then I saw that Back to Egypt thing.
The flea doctrine, right.
And I was like, what the hell kind of foolishness is this? Like, right? And I'm like, and then I start hearing people like, they go there, they took my passport, and now I'm stuck over here. And I'm like, damn, like, they really doing all this stuff to people. Like, wicked.
But man, I'm sorry that you went through all that, because it's like, again, right? They took advantage of your sincerity. Like, you really brought into the nation, right, and the culture, and you was a true believer, and a lot of these guys weren't, you know, and for you to be hurt multiple times, I mean, that definitely had to do a number to you, you know.
Yeah. After that, after do not, I didn't want to hear no Bible, nothing.
Right.
You and I didn't want to hear nothing. Like, no. No, me, I don't want to talk about nothing. You trying to teach me none of that stuff. Like, so yeah, like you said, like it runs a toll on you, and you can't really blame the people, like from the things that's happened to them, for the want to go and jump back into something like that.
Right.
And I look back too, I was like, I'm better off in the Christian church. I was like, the whole time, I was better off back up in there. And like, you know, I would see stuff in there too. But
right.
Compared to the Hebrew Israelites, it was nothing compared to that. Like, they not gonna come chase you down and you don't show up at church. They not make you pay that money, make you pay that tithes. They're not gonna be like, whoa, brother, you didn't pay your tithes last week. Like, they're not gonna do that. And like the control that they had, like it was absolutely insane. And when I turned up on Judah Nazareth, I did those videos. I made him take off his witchcraft chains. I mean, I stripped Judah Nazareth naked. Literally, I stripped him naked, and I made him leave YouTube for 6 months. He was calling people, begging them to tell me to stop. He would never admit that to you. I got all the screenshots, messages, and the sad part about it is that I dealt with him according to the scriptures, according to Hebrew Israelite way of. You talk to the brother and see if you can straighten it out. Then you
go to someone else, right.
Go to somebody.
You bring it to the church, right? Matthew 18. Even though he's a Torah only, but that's Matthew 18. Right.
So he denied. He wouldn't speak on it. He wanted I'm serving God. who y'all to tell me anything, right? I'm like, Judah Nazareth, before you joined Torah Nights, he wasn't speaking Hebrew. Actually, he was writing what they call the Yiddish writing, right? He was doing that. Then he got caught. Well, before, when I first joined, Josh from ABT for Absolute Bible Truth, exposed him with that when they found that stuff with him on his websites.
Yeah, I saw that video. That was crazy.
Sexual stuff, right? And he gave a video saying, my name was never Judah Nazareth. I was like, nigga, your name was Judah Nazareth. I'm like, what are you talking about? And you can catch him now. If he says his name now, he's going to say Nazareth. He's not going to say Nazareth. He's going to say Nazareth because he's so used to saying it. You know what I mean? If you're used to saying that name, you're going to repeat it. So he repeats it all the time and nobody catches.
So is anybody in Torah Nights now, or is it just him?
He got 2 brothers that's still in there with him. And those are his only members. And then we got a dude called Booker Beer, Avanya. He's over there, but he's been MIA. I've noticed he's been MIA. And
Negi was part of it too, correct?
Yep. Nevi came in. Negi was probably like the 3rd or 4th member in the group.
So who left first, you or Negi, or both of you guys leave at the same time?
There was people that had left, but like the official Torah night heads, I was the first one to leave. And then everybody, Josh basically left and just didn't say anything. Like, he was still like around us and stuff like that. Like, he knew everything, because when I confronted Josh about it, he was like, man, what you think? Like, Josh already knew what time it was.
So Negi, I'm assuming by his avatar, his profile, he is white, correct?
Yeah, white.
So when the other Hebrews saw Negi with the Torah Nights, there wasn't any conflict about that, or?
I didn't have an issue with it because I grew up under the House of David and Tahar and stuff, where we taught that there was confusion of faith, that he could be an Israelite, right? But Judah Nazareth didn't bring him in as that. Judah Nazareth brought him in as an Edomite, and that he's an Edomite cleaner. So basically, he's a servant.
Oh, wow.
And Negi was,
Negi was with it. And Negi was with it?
Negi was with it.
Wow.
But I don't know, like, where Judah Nazareth, like, exactly, but Negi was a cultist. Like, Negi was into, like, Aleister Crowley and, like, Boeotia and all that stuff, like, right? The Lima.
Right.
And I know why Negi liked it now. because Judah was teaching this esoteric stuff. Like Judah, I mean, Negi was so like eager to get into it and learn what he was talking about. Like Negi actually understood the stuff that he was teaching, where none of us knew what he was talking about, basically. And then I would study it. I remember when he first came out and was like trying to teach me. I'm asking all these questions, not answering them. And then one day he types in the message on Facebook. He says FBI, right? And he closes his page on Facebook and disappears for about almost a year. And what I believe it was, I was putting too much pressure on him to teach.
Right.
So he had to fall back. And
I mean, you are the Torah Knights. I would assume that you guys would be teaching something crazy. You know, like you'll be consistently teaching stuff. So.
Right. And that's what everybody thought. Everybody thought that we was all day studying the scriptures and all that stuff. There wasn't none of that. No. And our chats, I got all our chats copied. One day I'm going to reveal the whole chat and just let you see what was going on and what we talked about. And it wasn't no scripture. The only time scriptures were gone over is when Judah Nazareth wasn't there.
Oh, wow.
We'll be talking, going through scriptures, right? Judah Nazareth will come in the chat and dismantle all of it. Start talking about Jesus' penis. We would have these things like where Jesus was representing homosexuality, Lucifer, and all this stuff, like all that conspiracy, Mason, Illuminati like stuff, right? And he would just basically drill this stuff in people's minds. It was literally brainwashing. Like, you know, I've been in it a long time, so I didn't pay any attention to a lot of the stuff that he was trying to push on other brothers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because I knew better. Like I knew it. So these people that he got in the group are new to it. They haven't been in there. When I joined Torah Knights, I already been in the Hebrew Israelites 10 years.
Right.
You know what I mean? And Judah just picked it up. Judah was a roster like a year before.
Oh, wow.
But he come in there and he'll tell people now that he's been teaching for 20 years, and he would take things that people say and play off of it to gain your trust. Like saying, I was into skateboarding, right? He said, yeah, man, I used to skateboard and all this stuff. But I asked him like a basic skateboarding question, like you wouldn't even know what I'm talking about.
Wow.
Say, oh, I used to do this. And he never done it. But he'll do that to gain your friendship. And then he'll start dividing everybody. Well, you know, man, you know how that brother is and stuff. He would tell and make up, fabricate things. That's Negi. Negi will tell you that Negi up in here now. What's up, Negi? What up, Negi?
Yeah, what's up? What were you just saying?
Yeah, we was talking. He's asking about Torah Knights and like my whole thing with the Hebrew Israelites.
Oh, so, yeah. I could talk about that. I was part of it. What does you want to know?
Your side of it with the whole thing, how you met Judah.
You see, I ran into Judah's videos at first. I didn't really know who he was. I didn't even know what he was about because the video that I saw first was like about the Moorish Science Temple and how he was saying it was Masonic. So I went to see his other videos, and he had one saying that Kim Il-sung or whatever, Kim Jong-il, was the greatest freedom fighter. So I'm like, this guy's a little bit unhinged. Then I started realizing he was talking about the stuff that I was hearing in the Hebrew Israelite videos, like the ISUPK and stuff. So I started messaging him, leaving comments, and sooner or later I got involved with him on Facebook, and it just went from there.
I told him, would I be correct with saying that a lot of things that attracted you to Judah Nazareth's teachings was the whole Tefillima thing?
Yeah, it was definitely the fact that Judah was into some kind of esoteric stuff. That's what I noticed from the get-go. And in my early comments, I actually was trying to bait him a little bit. I was trying to see if he was like all the other Hebrew Israelites.
Wow.
So like when he was nice, it actually blew me away because I was really only familiar with white people getting cussed out, and
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, I was trolling a little bit. So
And he told me that, yeah, we got Negi, and we're gonna use Negi, like, know what I mean, to get at all the other camps. Like, know what I'm saying? Just like how he would bring a woman on, where all the other Hebrew Israelites wouldn't have no woman. So it showed a different side. Like,
Right.
so people that were sick of the Hebrew Israelites now, because like I said this before, like I said it earlier, I said GMS is like basically the granddaddy of all the other Hebrew Israelite camps out there. Like, they're the only ones that's really holding the true doctrine of what was taught out of that World West, that 122nd and 125th Street School. All the other ones were people that got upset about certain scriptures. Maybe somebody might like to smoke weed. So now they're gonna leave. They got caught in the schools smoking weed. So
Right.
they kicked out. But now they're gonna still keep the doctrine and say those brothers is wicked. They don't know the scriptures. Because look, the scriptures right here say, oh, we can use weed and stuff. So they'll start their own group and have the doctrine suit their lifestyle.
and you want to hear something kind of funny related to that?
Mhm.
Here's the funny part. When he first mentioned the whole Shiloh research group, the funny thing is that sounds almost like a group that I would have created. Because I would have created something like that to research different biblical things, and
Now,
it would have had that same like name and everything.
but it was more the way how it was kind of marketed. It was just like you said, just like a research group. But like, it was a Hebrew Israelite group that was grooming us for something else.
Yeah. It doesn't really matter what the end goal is, as long as you can make something sound not like a cult. That's like the trap. You got to
Right.
paint the facade a certain way so that it looks nice.
Yep. Like Judah, like, oh, women can teach. Oh, why the sisters can't teach? So they know brothers is gonna show up if there's women over there. And so it was all these little things that would, and all the quotes do it. Like I said, like the quote, they'll leave, they'll create another cult, and their doctrine be according to their lifestyle, and it's gonna pick people that are according to that lifestyle. Look at IUIC. You don't see no like bum dudes like and stuff like GMS and IUIC. You see college kids, and you see ex-Christians, people that used to go to church every day, every weekend. Those are the people.
It's kind of funny with IUIC. I kind of get the impression they got guys with mental issues in there. Like some of the leadership act kind of funny. Like they'll laugh out of nowhere, or they'll act like you've seen people's emotions change real quick.
Yep.
So Negi, what was the thing that finally got you out of there?
The reason I left is quite simple. There was a lot of chaos all the time. And the day that I made the decision, it was because Judah was just yelling at some guy. It was Jeremiah Judah. And he was calling him something that I can't say, but
right.
He just kept saying it over and over. And I just was like, man, this man is not who he claims to be. This man is not a person that I want to be listening to. So I just let it go, because for a while I had ignored the fact that he was talking crap about Jesus. I let that go, but that day I just was sick of it. I let it go.
Yeah. And like me, like I said, I wanted us to be that beginning of Deuteronomy 22. We do all the things, and we gonna get all these blessings. You know what I mean? But they didn't want to do that. They want that control. Like IUIC, law. But they got people on the sex offenders list right there at the front table with all the elders. Be an elder on the sex offender list. I bet they didn't tell none of the women and families that go to that church that this person's a sex offender.
I mean, that is absolutely scary. I mean, I can't even begin to imagine.
Yep.
Right.
If something had happened, then the egg would really have been on their face.
Yeah, it's like it's all. It just like and Nathaniel was a cop.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
There was a joke I made up once, because like if you ever see him coming, you should be like, whoop whoop, floor's wet, because that's what they used to do when the police or the guards would come in the prison. You'd hear all down the tier, whoop whoop, the sound of the police sirens.
Killer
So-
B, you ever thought about writing a book though? I mean, because you have a very interesting insight that a lot of people don't have. Because you've been in like several camps for a very long time.
And he's not alone in that, because we've both been in similar groups. We both could definitely write a book. I was actually going to write one on Judah. That's the funny part.
I've been thinking about it a lot, but I definitely gonna need some help with that because I ain't the best writer. I'll tell you that. Right.
You got tons of insight because
he could, and I'm more than willing to help you if you want to write something.
Yeah, I definitely been thinking. I've been thinking about it a lot lately. And the people just like what I do now. There's people that support what I do, but I'm just like, damn. But it seems like there's more people that show up to hate like what I do, and I don't see that much. I I look at some people like Sister Cherry, right?
Right.
Like with Sister Cherry all day long. Like she like Killer B 2.0. Like and she go harder than me. I'm gonna keep it 100. She go way harder than me. Like
right.
She will do all the cussing and stuff that I do.
Right.
I see a lot of people too that jump on the bandwagon to go at the camps, and especially like the Israelites. They call themselves going at the camps. And I'm like, why are you doing it? What's the purpose behind you doing it? Are you trying to start a cult yourself? And that's
it's kind of funny. I can answer that question because when I was in a group, Torah Nights, I did that too. I went after camps.
Yeah. And a lot of the internet Israelites will say, I ain't in no camp. I ain't in no camp. But we use the camp doctrine.
Right.
Oh, yeah. It goes back to what I was saying earlier about how there's words that they'll use too, even if they're not in the camp. Like they'll say Salakia, Shalom, all that.
Right. They'll use that the fake Hebrew from the One Westers. Right.
Yeah, exactly. But they use it just like the camps do. So it's like, what's the difference?
Right. No, absolutely. No, I mean, people definitely have different agendas. I mean, even when you look at some white Christians, who, well, technically they wouldn't be Christians because they're racist, but they covered their racism by looking like they're quote unquote refuting Hebrew Israelites. But what they're doing is they're really getting their racist socks off under the guise of I'm defending the faith. It's like, no, you just hate black people and you find a way to do it without people seeing that you're racist. Yeah.
You dead on with that. You dead on with that. People out of that too.
That's kind of funny you mentioned that because I do get that impression. It's just really funny because I'm not one of those people at all. So I'm just going after him because it's like a personal-ish thing with me.
Yeah.
Because my thing is when I deal with the Hebrew Israelite, it's never about the identity. Because if you are a blood related, like if you are connected via DNA, great. But what does that mean? Because there's a whole bunch of Israelites who are blood related that were apostate from God. So like that doesn't really help you any. Yeah. Like if you go to my channel, you never see me do videos on identity doctrine really. Because that's not my issue. My issue is at the end of the day, are you in right relation with God? I want you to go to heaven. That's my only concern. So whether or not you are genetically linked to ancient Israel, if you are, great. If you're not, that's fine too. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And a lot of these, where I was going with I forgot what talking about. But it's really sad. But the people are gonna have to step up really, really soon because this is gonna turn into something way bigger. Like these Hebrew Israelites killed all these people in a year time. They ain't no white supremacist group out here getting no bodies like Hebrew Israelites. And news, like they report on it, but is the news seeing the whole picture of what's going on? And these people are dying. There's young people that are dying, 19, 20 years old. And some of these people got a good intention of wanting to learn. Say Jordan Morgan, for instance. I don't know the lady. I didn't know the lady.
Right.
But just from looking at her, she came up. Her mother had another mixed child and stuff. So I'm sure there probably wasn't any type of prejudice thing going on. And she joins this cult. These people say, hey, you're really an Israelite. You're God's chosen people. Like, who wouldn't gravitate towards that or just listen, at least listen? And they'll say, oh, wow. And all the stuff they laying down in front of you, you eating it all up. You eating it all up. You eating it all up. So, and that's what happened to me when I was into first Rastafarianism when I was young. Then I was studying like Hare Krishna. I asked some friends about Hare Krishnas. This is real crazy. Then I got into like Malachi York and Islam, right? So like I was gravitating towards Islam. Then I ran into the Hebrew Israelites, like teaching out here in my city. And you know, they just said, Muhammad, the Quran says Israel is God's chosen people. Showed me the Quran. I was like, well, I'll be damned. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then it said Muhammad wore a skirt and painted his pink fingernails. So, all right, so we ain't down with that. So I started listening more and studying more. I'm like, you know what? The Hebrew Israelite, right? That's where it all started. And what happens then? They start to demonize, get you in your mind that everybody around you is wicked. Now, I grew up in the suburbs. I skateboarded, did graffiti and stuff. Like, I was around white kids. The majority of my friends are all white. So I would go to them like, yo, listen, I learned the Bible. I'm God's chosen people. They're like, man, what you talking about, right? Then I show them. And the white people would be like, oh, snap. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, my God, I'm going to die. I had one of my friends literally leave me in their house while they go take a walk around the block to get themselves together after what I just showed them. And now they believe it. I would say the majority of the public access Hebrew Israelite shows were watched by white people.
Oh, it's so funny you say that because I actually was looking for old videos of Tahar, and I saw where he's on a public access TV show, whatever it was.
Yep.
And he even had the whole chalkboard thing too with the Hebrew written on it.
Yeah. That was the main way of getting that message out back then. That public access, the public access. And then they would say like, okay, you in this truth. Why are you hanging around these wicked white people and these wicked niggas, right? And then you start to distance yourself, like, brother, what you around that Edomite? He not in the truth. He not going to get you salvation, right? And then, now these is my friends. If something happened, I call on them, and they come. I call out a brother in the Hebrew Israelites. They going to have an excuse, you know what I mean? Or not pick up the phone or whatever. But we supposed to be brothers. We call each other and stuff all day. This. Like, we supposed to be brothers.
Right. And just for context, that goes even when it's something bad. So it's like, yeah, when they're ready to chew you out for something, it's like, why are you doing this, Sock?
Yep. And they don't want anybody to influence you except them. So now, and when I joined, it was before 2000. So when I hit the scene, Christ was coming back in 2000. So I'm looking at this like, well, damn, I don't really believe that. But if all this other stuff I believe, and I believe is true, so I ain't gonna miss the boat, right? I shit you not. 1999, December 31st, 1999, I'm sitting up in the crib with a sword. They had a countdown on the GMS website. It was called House of David then. The name of the website, it might have been the House of David was the name of the website, if I'm not mistaken. And they had a countdown, like literally like a countdown. So like when they hit 0, the house shot coming back. So like I wasn't in the school because I like to smoke weed and stuff too much. So I was about to go to class. I would get my notes from my boy, the one that I said pull the gun on me. And I'm sitting up in the crib, New Year's night, with a sword. You know, like a little kid, you looking up in the sky at night on Christmas.
Yeah, looking for Santa Claus. Yeah, that's right.
Like a damn fool looking up in the sky for your house shot. And I'm waiting, it hit 0. I'm waiting to hear those trumpets. But God forbid, if there was some trumpet blowing.
Yeah. If some guy had just been messing around and pulled out one of those, jazz trumpets or something, started doing a sonnet right then and there, or gotten a ram's horn for the authenticity, the authentic shofar.
Yep. In the school though, they all of a sudden got this revelation that night that Yahweh Shai was just testing us.
Yeah, I saw that Johanna video when he said that. I'm like, that makes no sense whatsoever.
But brothers quit their jobs. I didn't go to school. I quit school.
Dudes crashed their cars on purpose because I'm not gonna need that because I'm gonna be in the kingdom. So
Yep. Now people going to work, cussing their boss out, telling them that we're gonna rape their daughters and we're gonna put you in chains and all this stuff.
It's crazy. Cats would take out these huge loans.
And you know what the funniest part about all that is? The next day they had to go in there and say to their boss, I didn't really mean it. I really need a job. Boss, right. Can I have my job back? That's when I would have been on the floor rolling. My eyes would have been in the back of my head. I would have just been like dying.
But you would think that they would listen to history, right? Because you have the Jehovah's Witness. They've done that a bunch of times and failed. The SDAs with the Great Disappointment of 1841, I think it was. Yeah, they did the same thing too. It's like,
and then there's the one dude that was some kind of Mormon who he was gonna fly up to heaven, so he got off a donkey, he ran up to a hill, and then he just fell, hit the ground flat.
Well, black people at that time wasn't educated in other things going on. Like we knew about Jim Jones, don't drink the Kool-Aid, but as far as we knew was don't drink the Kool-Aid and all these people died. That's all we knew. Like the internet wasn't popping like that, and black people wasn't on the internet looking up nothing. You know what I'm saying? They up on a Black Planet or something like that, trying to get some chicks or a man. That's about as far as the black people used the internet for back then.
Oh, they didn't even have World Star.
Yeah, they ain't had none of that. But
they had was it Friendster they had back in the days.
Oh yeah, MySpace.
And then MySpace.
You had a whole bunch of dudes that were trying to look cool on MySpace.
Yeah.
If you remember that whole era.
Yeah. Your top 8 friends, something like that.
The pic of them in the mirror. That's what it was with the old school phone, the old school cell phone.
Yeah.
But these people, you know what I'm saying? We didn't have just like I said about Kabbalah. Like Negi probably knew about Kabbalah. Negi could have knew about Kabbalah at a young age. You know what I'm saying? That's the culture of white people and stuff like that. Black people only care about black people stuff. We can tell you about Eddie Murphy and Martin Luther King, and we can tell you all that stuff. But anything outside of that, we ignorant of. So,
well, I would disagree with that because there is black nerds. You know what I mean? So black people can be very eclectic. You know what I mean? So I'll push back on that a little.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, the demographic of the people that joined the Hebrew Israelites.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? The people that had sense, they knew better. But you got young kids, and I want to do a video on this too. How Afrocentrism and the Hebrew Israelites and stuff helped breed use hip hop music.
Sure. The 5% Nation. I mean, in the early '90s in hip hop, it was Brand Nubians.
Oh yeah.
Poor Righteous Teachers.
My favorite one is that one, the Poor Righteous Teachers.
Right.
That's a good example of. They actually took that name from the early name the early 5%ers gave themselves.
Right. Absolutely.
So they called themselves that as a way to draw people in because
they made the connection. Right.
The Nation of Islam was only going after people who had money, people who were rich. These guys went after people who were like in the pool hall, in the bars, other places like that weren't really being reached out to. So that's how cults work. They reach out to people.
The hip hop music was used like I was a Wu-Tang fan. Like, know me? Not KRS-One, Poor Righteous Teachers, all that stuff where they're teaching knowledge.
Right.
I listened to KRS-One. I became vegan.
X-Clan.
X-Clan. I became vegan in 91. Black people, white people didn't even know what a vegan was in the early 90s. You know what I mean? And I was into that stuff, and the music pointed the youth in a direction that they felt was right. Like, okay, I'm not talking about no gangster stuff. I'm getting this knowledge. But the knowledge is more dangerous than the gangster stuff. No, in some ways.
Sure. I can see that.
The Priest came out talking all the strong Hebrew Israelite stuff in the song.
It's funny you should mention him. So he has a new album out. This dude is straight up syncretism. Like, he just believes in everything now.
Right.
Kabbalah, Hebrew Israelite, Kemetic, like he throws everything in now in his rhymes.
And I started to notice that, and that's why I quit listening to him after like what is probably second or third to last album.
Because I was a fan. I was digging him.
Yep. He's talking about the Sanskrit and all that. I'm like, Sanskrit? This nigga talking about Sanskrit for? You know what I mean? I was like, the hell Killer Priest. Like, you know what I mean?
You want to hear something kind of funny about the whole Indian thing? I'm just gonna go into this real quick, but there's actually I was looking at the alphabet for the Indian alphabet, Indian languages called Devanagari. Mm-hmm. They actually, if you take the line off the top and you look at the letters without it, it actually kind of has a vague Semitic look to it.
Okay, could be.
So the idea maybe they were around, around the time of Abraham, supposedly. Who knows? Because it's interesting. Plus, the name means "city of God" in that language, in Sanskrit. Devanagari.
Cool.
So there's a lot of stuff that's out there that cults could use if they wanted to. Of course, that's just. I just wanted to mention that.
No, that's cool. But listen, guys, I'm gonna let you guys go. It was cool to finally jump on the platform. Learn a lot. I don't know, Killer B just disappeared. I don't know what happened to him. But Nagy, it's good speaking to you. And you never know. I might hop in again in the near future. So thank you for having me. Definitely appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys later. All right.
Yep. Bye.
Peace.
So I'm gonna be all by myself. Oh, okay. I'm not all by myself. I was like, I'm gonna be all by myself for a little bit.
Nah. I got my connection thing working a little bit better. Right? As you see, it doesn't go out as much. It gives me at least an hour or something.
Awesome. But yeah, I'll see you. Whenever. Take care, man.
Yep. All right, man. Take care.
Oh, I'll make a video on it. Never mind. You'll watch it if I talk about what this whole thing is.
I'll say a script thing. I missed it. Like as soon as you tell you,
I'll talk about it on my channel. So just you'll see it when it pops up.
Yep.
All right. Take care, man.
Arno, you said I go after them because I had one who married into my family, and he tried to convert his wife and daughter. Wow. Unbelievable. So I wonder, do you know what group he's in? Because it's strange that he tried to convert his wife. You know what I mean? So I don't know if the wife is if the wife is African American or one of what they call the 12 tribes and stuff like that. But it's hell. Yep. He assessed with IUIC. So if she's Caucasian, they're gonna make him divorce her. They're gonna make him divorce her. I know another lady. She's one of my neighbors, and she never realized what I was into. Like, I know her all my life. Played skateboard with her kids and all that stuff. Awesome lady. And her friend, her daughter, married a black dude. Okay, all right. All right, I get it. So, nigga crazy. So he started watching the IUIC videos, and he left the wife and the kids. Left them to join the cult. Barry Bennett, another one, IUIC. IUIC used to forbid brothers to speak to certain women until they're tried. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, stay on them, Arnold. Stay on them. Stay on them. Stay on their head. And he probably don't know nothing. He don't know nothing. He only listening to them. You know what I'm saying? And he only listened to the cult. So just like Mary Bennett said, her husband be trying to teach her and stuff, and she have a question, and he be stuck on stupid. And what he got to do? He got to go ask one of the elders or one of the officers. Then now they're breaking the scripture and saying that a man supposed to learn from his wife. She said that. She said, I thought the man supposed to learn from his wife. So what you calling this nigga for? You know what I mean? So, like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Let me get back to this lesson here. I got one last part with this B-Red, the Blu-ray scholar. So I got to get, whoa, I got another video. Oh, wait, I got one more. I got two more. Then I'm going to get into that. I got two more. Then I'm going to get into that. So, put down the curses. You got to get this other nigga nut out the way. And then I'm going to get into IUIC. Actually, I'm not, because I ain't going to show their logos and stuff. That gets you. It's not really worth playing. Not worth playing. Break down the curses. And then I'm going to get into the answers here. Break down the curses. Yep, this is the nigga right here. Let's see what this nigga got to say. Oh, nigga talk.
Saying, nor their fathers have known, and there shall be 36. Verse 30.
Y'all niggas see what he got wrapped around his head, right? That's a tie.
6. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou set over thee, into a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods of wood and stone.
You see how he put the emphasis on wood and stone and skip over the beginning of the part?
So when the slaves got to America, they were speaking, the Persians were speaking English, and they're still speaking Hebrew. So, it's a different.
Now they're speaking Hebrew? I thought the Most High took all of that from them, according to the scripture. So they speak Hebrew, and the white people speak English. And they said that they didn't know the white people.
Nation saying, nor their fathers have.
What kind of grown man gonna walk around with balls around his neck? Somebody explain that shit to me. This nigga got some balls around his neck.
And there
Glad they ain't under his chin.
shalt thou serve other gods of wood and stone. Caesar Borgia, Christianity, which is one of the reasons why a lot of our population has gone to, and they can't get over it. But I mean, they're serving a white God, a white Jesus. You know, when clearly Scripture shows, based on Revelation 1:14, that Yahweh is a dark-skinned black man, bronze burnt.
I forgot what we see it enough. We see it enough. All right, so we're gonna get to this first person from He Read the Blue Red Scholar, the blue collar scholar, or whatever the hell he was. Okay, all right. Somebody said our fathers didn't know the king of Babylon on Facebook. All right. Wait, that ain't got nothing to do with what I was talking about. All right, whatever. All right. Let's see if I got any more slides here. Look at all these niggas right all right. They have their own conversation. All right, they can carry on. All right, let's get to V-Red, the blue collar scholar. Get to these names. Maybe put something new up in there. Check. Handing out L's? No, I'm handing out the L's today. I'm the one handing out all the L's. Okay. I asked this man, who is the king? He said, it's a silly question because all Israel wasn't in one place. So there wasn't just one royal house ruling over them. But clearly, there was Israelites in these kingdoms, right? Now, his answers, because, you know, this guy, he ain't getting no scriptures and stuff. He going to give you some type of historical thing, right? So we're going to get to these first people here. First head. He gave me Gaspar Yanga. All right, we're going to do him first. Gaspar Yanga. He said this was the king. I don't know why he gave me a whole bunch of them, and some of them not even male. So I never heard of a male king before. But we're going to see. We're going to go over this information. You know what I mean? I'm not going to deny his answer. Then we're going to go through what people with common sense have to say about it. All right, Gaspar Yanga, often simply Yanga or Nyanga, was an African who led maroon colony of slaves in the highlands of Veracruz, Mexico, during the early period of Spanish colonial rule. His successful resisted the Spanish attack on the colony in 1609. He already deleted this nigga out of the motherfucking question. Early life. Was said to be of the Brand people, a member of the royal family of Gabon. Page needed. He was captured and sold into slavery in Mexico, where he was called Gaspar Yanga. Before the end of the slave trade, New Spain had the 5th highest slave population in the Americas after Brazil, right? Caribbean, 4 million, Cuba, 1 million, Hispaniola were all unpaid labor and still in practice in Haiti. It is also developed a free black population. Free black population? In Haiti, would it develop a free black population? Okay. Around 1570, Yanga led a band of slaves in escaping to the highlands near Veracruz. Right? They built a small maroon colony. Its isolation helped protect it for more than 30 years, and other fugitive slaves found their way there. Okay. Legacy and honors. Okay. 1871, 5 decades after Mexican independence, Yanga was designated as a national hero of Mexico. Yep. This was based largely on an account by historian Vincent Riva Palacio. The influential Riva Palacio was also a novelist. Okay. Let's see here. Where did he come from? In the late 19th century, Yanga was named as, late 19th century. He was born in 1545, right? So that's close. You can say that he was close to one of those people that came off that. But Yanga achieved an agreement with the colonial government for self-rule of the Maroon settlement. So in 1618, Yanga achieved an agreement with the colonial government. Does that sound like somebody that's put in captivity? Wasn't they supposed to root over him? Spanish attack in 1609, blah, blah, blah. When they said that should happen before, that was in 1618. The 1609 was the attack. Okay, so he was given this thing after that. Okay, I don't want to read this whole damn thing. The additional people that Yanga's family would be granted a right to rule. Yanga's family would be granted a right to rule. But, right, they supposed to be in captivity. So now, this is kicking out the whole Hebrew Israelite thing too, because now Hebrew Israelites are coming to America and running shit. I don't know. So let's get to this next guy. This next guy. All right. Before I get this out of the way, I'm starting to run out of steam here. Oh, shit. What the hell is this? Anna Kingsley. See, can I drop this into that box? And it's a foolishness. Okay, let me get it. Exactly. Ain't none of this gonna make sense. Share screen. The tabs. Oh, application window. That's right. Application window. Okay, all right. It bended it like that. All right. Okay, get this next guy here. Abdul Rahman, born in 1762. That knocks him out of the box right there. Automatically. Died in 1829. Was an African prince. Was an African prince, not a king, prince. And Amir, commander or governor, who was captured in the Futa Galan region of Guinea. West Africa, is sold to slave traders and brought to the United States. Upon discovering his noble lineage, his slave master, Thomas Foster, began referring to him as Prince, a title he kept into his final days. After spending 40 years in slavery, he was freed in 1828 by order of President John Quincy Adams and Secretary of State. By order of the President, Secretary of State, and the Sultan of Morocco requested his release. He was a Muslim ruler who was born in 1762. The city of Timbo was located in Guinea. His father, Al-Amini Abraham Suri, consolidated the Islamic Confederation of Futa Jalan in 1776 with Timbo as its capital. He lived and studied. He learned in the Islamic sciences and could speak at least 4 different African languages, in addition to Arabic and English. In 1781, after returning from study in a renowned city of learning in Timbuktu, age 26, he was made an emir of one of the regiments that conquered the lands of Bambara. All right, so now this nigga is conquering shit. So we supposed to have been under all these African people. So this knocks his ass out the box. Y'all can keep notes of these people and look them up. I'm just trying to waste people. Anna Kingsley, that's already out there because that's a woman. That's already out of there. Present-day Senegal, who was enslaved and sold in Cuba. She became the wife of a plant. All right. So the king of Israel and shit became the wife, became transgender, and married a plantation owner and slave trader Zephaniah Kingsley, and then a planter and slaveholder in her own right as a free black in early 19th century Florida. That's out of the way. Let's go to the next one. Aqualtuni, or whatever. I'm not pronouncing. Another woman, knocks that out of the way, was a Congo princess who was the daughter of an unidentified Mini Congo. According to the tradition, she was the mother of Ganga Zumba and the maternal grandmother of Zumba. So these are Africans, not Israelites. And we heard the other nigga say before, said these niggas got off the boat speaking Hebrew. I don't know where he got that teaching from, but Pope don't even be teaching them. Some of them do. Right? That's out of the way. Next. William Ansah Cesar Raku. Prominent 18th century Fontaine man, is best known for his wrongful enslavement of the West Indies. What? Wait, hold on a second. This nigga put this shit in here for an answer. And is best known for his wrongful enslavement of the West Indies and diplomatic mission to England. He was both prominent among the Fonte people and influential among Europeans concerned with the transatlantic slave trade. So the nigga was selling slaves. Then he became captured. They captured him. He was a slave catcher. Wait, where did he get to? He got sent to England again. So the king went to England to learn English, shit, and education. Curry flavor with the English. All right, y'all look this shit up here. Run out of steam. That was a dude's bad. Now, let's get over to this right here. If you ask a black Hebrew what siege is being spoken in verse 53, they will have no answer. These inconvenient technologies are glossed over completely. It is clear that anyone who is honest with the scriptural text, that this curse is a direct assertion of what was to come under Nebuchadnezzar and his Babylonian troops. The Babylonians laid siege to Jerusalem, burning the first holy temple down to the ground, along with the rest of the city of Jerusalem. I'm going to put this link in the chat so you guys can check this out. This is really good. Okay. This siege is described in vivid detail by Jeremiah in his self-named text, as well as the book of Lamentations, mostly in its entirety. In 2 Kings chapter 25, his same siege is described as well in great detail. In 2 Kings 25:3, we see allusions to the starvation the people were going through, which Moses prophesied in 53 months earlier. On the 9th of the month, the famine became severe in the city, and the people of the land had no food. Again, we see in Deuteronomy 36 another instance where the Tochacha is clearly seen fulfilled under Babylonian tyranny within the actual pages of the Hebrew Bible. We see exact fulfillment in 2 Kings 24:15 as the king, which is spoken of in verse 36 is sorry. The king which is spoken in verse 36 is none other than Jehoiakim. 36, the Lord will lead you and your king, whom you will have established over you, to the land unknown to you by your fathers, and there you will serve other deities made of wood and stone. All right, so this is 15 here. And he exiled Jehoiakim to Babylon, and the king's mother, and the king's wives, and his officers, and the dignitaries of the land, he led in exile from Jerusalem to Babylon. If we conclude to read in the book of 2 Kings, chapter 25, we see Jehoiakim's uncle Zebediah get it worse than Jehoiakim after his short stand and as a vassal king for Judah to Nebuchadnezzar. The evil chief of the guards, Nebuzaradan, rained destruction on what is left of the once great kingdom of Judah and Zedekiah, simply killing his sons in front of him in 25 verse 7. It is one of the saddest descriptions of what can happen to even such a great people when they lose track to what is important and follow idolatrous customs and nature. Okay. And they slaughtered Zedekiah's son before his eyes. And they blinded Zedekiah's eyes, and they bound him with copper chains and brought him to battle. All right, I think that's it. Okay. I can put this thing up in here. A little longer than I wanted to go. I'm trying to do this about an hour and a half. Right, that's the link to that article you guys can check out. For some reason I can't see the rest of my chat. Let's see what's in the chat. All right. Harry Wine said, that's right. The PH asked, it doesn't make sense. It makes like it doesn't. Harry Wins said, that's right. Arno said, there it is. Maggie Springfield, if you're not subscribed, hit that button and join the fight against the code. That's right on, Maggie. Right on. Slap that like button too. That's right, Maggie. Let's see something here. Let's see if I can. I want to put that on the thing. See if I can duplicate this. It's going to show me chat so I can see it. All right. Please subscribe. I will show you. How's it go? I don't got. Um, all right. I was wanted to show this real quick too. Um, that thing in the way. Damn, the hell is that? I wanted to show this right here. So, what are you doing? Oh, I know what. If you can see here, this logo. That logo there for all these.
Give him glory and praise to the God of our forefathers.
Look at that logo there. Now this is Shabbat Israel, right? This is the cult that what's his name? His name was Nasi Yusavel, the one that got caught allegedly. I don't know if the court case is done with, or if there was a court case, but there have been some allegations of him molesting a child, and if I'm not mistaken, numerous times. This is their cult. You know, they act like they not like the other Hebrew Israelites being crazy and all that stuff, right? As we can see there, their logo is two daggers, knives, swords, or whatever you want to put it, right? It says home of the warriors and scholars. Warriors and scholars. Look at these booger eating niggas. So there's a lot of Hebrew Israelite groups out there that, or members of the groups, I say this, that believe that their church or school or camp isn't a cult. You see here, now I could go through all of them. I pulled a real moderate Hebrew group that even had a white dude up in their thing, right? And I did the video on them, and go back and check out the chat in that video. That's a great. You know what? I'm gonna find that video real quick. I'll put that video in the chat. That was a real good video. I didn't get a chance to go to this one. Yeah, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe. About the fake Jewish certification. Here it goes, right here. Jewish conversion scam. And they got a dude on here look just like Vocab Malone. but when he Jewish that's giving out free conversions. And I gave people the heads up of what he actually was doing. That free conversion is free. But once you convert it, you're part of a congregation now. So when you're part of the congregation, that's the link for that video. But you got that's a long one and shit, but it's super good. It's super good. Explain a lot of stuff in there. I had Alon the cleaner up on there. You guys go check out the cleaner website also. BK, if you're still here, put your link for your channel in here. Negi, put your link up in the chat too. You guys go check out Negi and BK Apologist channel. Where else? Somewhere else. I think that's about it. Anything am I missing something? Oh, I can check this out. Nah, I turned this thing I'm going to read Malachi's. He was the first one to answer. If I'm not mistaken, he said the same thing. The It's funny, we still using the same chat we used back in the day. It says Floridites. That was even funny. Malachi has been around for a long. Malachi like to stay in the cut. In the cut and stuff. I like to talk to you. What Malachi says is talking of the Jewish revolt against Rome in 66 in King Agrippa, second last of the Herodian dynasty. Weren't Rome. Malachi is from another country. His English is going to be kind of decipher it a little bit. So, last of the, I'm just going to read like what I can figure out of it, what I'm seeing. Last of the Herodian dynasty went to Rome and asked Nero for help in putting it down. Josephus, that might be chapter or something, 65. I don't know. I know Malachi. I'll hop in the comments later and break that down a little bit. He told me I'm going to be cutting their cash flow. I keep fucking around. Yeah, goddamn right. Okay. All right. Hopefully, you get Malachi up on here. Malachi is really in depth with Kabbalah and a lot of those esoteric teachings. He doesn't mess with Kabbalah anymore, but if I can remember, he said that. But he has a serious library with all that stuff. He sent me some really good, interesting things. So shout out to Malachi. And let me see if there's another comment from you nigga nuts. Okay. Yeah, after I told him to defend the faith, like Maggie was saying. Your faith, nigga. Okay. All right, that's it. I'm gonna get the hell out of here. 8 o'clock. Scotland. Yeah, Malachi is from Scotland. In other words, UK. Yep. Cross blades like a lot of culture. You're absolutely right. That's a good catch, Neggy. That's a good one. But yeah, I like to say thanks everybody that tuned in tonight. I might go on later tonight on that cult and culture thing. Neggy, if you want to do a little research on that cult and culture, I'm gonna find some videos of the Hebrew Israelites talking about that too. But yeah, I'm gonna head up out of here. You guys have a good night. It's gonna be the Witchfinder General. You got a witch. Burnt. What? Should I play that? No, that's silly. I want to see King David. Let me show this real quick. I gotta show this real quick. I gotta do that before I leave. I'll show y'all the boogie eating King David. Yes, King David eats his boogers. Well, this one does. This King David eats his boogers. All right. All right. See that, y'all? It's King David.
On Esau's field, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was faithful, not about identity.
That's
So we not about identity. When you gonna run down the track? I mentioned that the people don't know their identity. The brother will stay out there. Show this on TV. But I'll tell you about the nation of Israel. He'll fall off with it. But the tribe of Judah is the so-called Negroes. The tribe of Benjamin is the so-called descendants. The tribe of Levi are the so-called Haitians. The tribe of Simeon are the so-called Dominicans. The tribe of Lebanon includes from Guatemala to Panama, all those people that are Negroid and Indian descent in both countries. The tribe of Ephraim is the so-called Puerto Ricans. The tribe of Manasseh is the so-called Cubans. And the tribe of Gad is the so-called North American Indians. The tribe of Reuben are the so-called Seminole Indians that are residing in the areas of Florida. The tribe of Naphtali is the so-called Argentinians all the way through to Chile in South America. The tribe of Asher are the so-called Colombians and Brazilians in South America, all the way to Uruguay. Then the tribe of Issachar.
Okay, and what's gonna happen if I don't keep the Israelites out of my mouth? Name out my mouth. Explain that to me. Explain the penalty of that. He said, just came, keep the Israelites out your mouth. Can you? That's how you get your what? How you get your view. Huh? All right, continue eating your boogers, nigga. Continue eating your boogers. Maybe that's how that nigga had the long fingernails. That's maybe so he could reach and get them boogers way in the back of his nose.
Indians in the land of Mexico. These people are the true nation of Israel. Yes. These are the people that constitute the nation of Israel.
All right, now this is King David, but King David has been fooled to believe that the 12-time chart is real. There go your King David, y'all. There go your King David, King Masha. This is 1992, too.
Their identity, true identity. Now, the white man calls himself white. He doesn't understand his own true identity. The Greeks, the Romans, the
mistaken, that's the school of
Englishmen, the Irish, the Englishmen, the Frenchmen, and so on. These are another nation out of one tribe. We're going to explain that to you tonight. But first now, let's jump to the so-called Jew, which calls himself Esau. And he calls himself also a Jew. We want to prove to you that this man is an impostor. He is not a Jew. Revelation 2:9-3:9. He's lying.
This is your king talking, y'all. This is your king.
I have to be clear up. It has to be. Brother said the show is about teaching the Bible and bringing out the truth. That's what we intend to do tonight. Revelation 3:9. Revelation 2:9 and Revelation 3:9. I know thy word. Bible say, I know thy word. And tribulation, and poverty. But thou art rich. We are rich because the Heavenly Father is the power of the nation of Israel. So we don't go to him. We go to the devil seeking him. And I know the blasphemy of them when say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Now, who has the synagogues? So-called white Jews. Who's always parading up and down the street with signs claiming to be a Jew? He said, we're Jewish. Added ISH unto his name, meaning wishing that he was a Jew, meaning something pertaining to it. This man is not a Jew, it's an impostor. And we're going to show you his identity.
Now, that ideology right there, they stole from Christian identity movement, like a white supremacist Christian movement. That's who made up that doctrine that he didn't spoke on. So King David ain't got all the wisdom that y'all think he got, because he getting this shit from white supremacists. Oh, boogie eating niggas. This nigga next to him probably. He said, here, brother, try this one out, brother.
Behold, I will make men of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. Now, most times said their lives. They have the synagogue. They're not the original Jew by nature. I want to get that clear. They're not the original Jew by nature. They're imposters. The Lord said He's going to make these people come and bow down to the feet of the nation of Israel. Why? To prove that He had loved the nation of Israel. All right. Okay, now we're going into identity. First, let's get the white man's identity started. Lies have been taught, so he thinks he's a Caucasian, or he's a white man, or he's an Irishman, he's a Dutchman, he's an Englishman. These are labels. They're not names of nationality. But as the white man is two nationalities, he cannot tell. If his life depends on it. Genesis 25. This is it. The identity of the white man, and this is what you spread from white man. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padan-aram, the sister to Laban the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of them, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children and she and she and the two are in and two manner of people shall be separated from the and the one shall be
All right. So I screwed up something. It's all good. It's going to be the Witchfinder General. You got to burn their asses up. And I challenge you to beat out a boogie Israelite as much as you can. All right, y'all. Peace.
And inhumanity the man portrayed on the screen so vividly that you flinch. This man showed no mercy in the pursuit and interrogation of his victims. He was called the Witchfinder General.
Witchfinding ain't easy. Fuck your trick clock. Get this one. Y'all can get your heads lost, spin away like prison. Intelligence agencies trace you. Seeing what I did lately, amazing. They not seeing all the sheep grazing. Flaming pins of Josh, get rocked. Mountaintops go fly. Right enough, fight enough. Yet I'm so nice when I expose. Fuck y'all clothes, costume shop roll. Catch info like a stroll. Feeling old, so grab a switch. I'ma extol my foes cause they snitch. Since they can't ruin me, I'ma ruin them. That chopped off head still spin. Burning witches in they sin. You can't lie, you can't die. I know what y'all said. Just as flesh decay, but eternally, I don't see it that way. Pave the road clear is what you said, but your cult gonna leave people dead. Claim God, God don't know you. Watch your desires overthrow you. Man fall down, man go boom. Mask wearing like doom. All caps like y'all yelling. That's a rap. Might as well be fellas. Y'all words are letters. On YouTube, acting precious. This the nexus. Feel the sun from the solar plexus. Taste the breakfast. Finding all those devices that detect us. Yo, show respect, cuz.
And what line of business might it be? God's business. Witchfinding. Witchfinding. Oh, that's
Y'all be looking for that next buzz or some buzz. Watch the general pull plugs. Internet warriors caught up in dark corridors. Fiction like Mordor. Should've stayed on the floor. Y'all know no origins. Laughing orphans, even though we got royal blood coursing. No more horsing. Real life's more important. Y'all speaking curses on yourself. Claiming God and no one else. Blast you off the shelf. Burn your whole library. See you do it. Look, y'all claim and learn. Reading from the Jewish books. Y'all some cookie crooks. Been caught up with a hook. Spooky beats drive me wild. Get stabbed from a knife over child. Old man, old style. Used to be killed out the Nile. And I did it with a smile. Fake roots, smell vile. Rock like Hendrix at the aisle. After a while, see Egyptians on the trial. Yeah, you, the one claiming brew. Unglued and unruly. Expose their actions fully. Yeah, I'm a bully, but that's fine. This is how you get bullied straight from the mind. Burning them. We cats out there, we have faith. They claim they read all this, that they know all this. Claiming they speak languages, curses.
Be the first to see it. Be the first to talk about it. The Witchfinder General.
All right, so y'all have a good night. I might be on back. I'll be back. I might be back on. We'll see. All right, y'all. Peace. Thanks everybody that came in. RNO, Nick Springfield, BK Apologist, Harry Wins, and the rest of y'all heads and shit. Yeah, I forgot. All right, y'all. Peace.